Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are back for another match of the Rugby Championship. We have just witnessed a very exciting game between New Zealand and South Africa, which may be why my voice sounds a little bit funny. I think it's going to be completely gone tomorrow, but it would have been well and truly worth it. Looking through at the way that the table currently sits, Australia, they are still sitting top of the bunch after their victory over Argentina last week. New Zealand, they have moved themselves into second after their win over the Springboks, and South Africa, they are in third. Argentina still yet to get themselves a singular point in the Rugby Championship for 2022 or for 2021 as well. So I'm hoping to see Argentina do well in this game. There were a couple changes for the Aussies due to injuries, including no Quade Cooper in the lineup for him. He is late. We want our money back, says I am nutty in there as well. But yeah, I just had to make sure that the coverage was going to be on the right channel. So that is why I was like 30 seconds or so behind. But now looking through our Argentina's starting lineup, it will be Thomas Gallo, Julio Montoya, and Francisco Gomez Cordella in the front row. Matthias Alemano and Thomas Lavanini, no changes from what we saw last week. Juan Matan Gonzalez at number 6, Marcos Crema, and then Pablo Matera, the very useful number 8, does play for the Crusaders. Throughout Super Rugby Pacific, Gonzalo Bertrano will be the nod at number 9. Santiago Carreras, he plays well no matter where you put him in the back line. He is always able to put in 110%. Geronimo De La Fuente at number 12. Matthias Maroni at number 13. Juan Emoff at 11. Emiliano Boffelli out on the other wing, and Juan Cruz Malia at number 15. But now looking through at the Australians, what they have gone with James Slipper. He is in the front row. Lachlan Lonergan and big Tongan Thor Taniela Tupou. He will be a dangerous man to start this contest. Rory Arnold is going to be an entertaining player to see in that Wallabies lineup. Darcy Swain at number 5. Jed Holloway, he had his debut last week up against Argentina. Thought he played pretty well, so he has earned himself a spot in that starting lineup once again. It is Fraser McRide at number 7, and then Rob Valentini at number 8. Nick White slots in at number 9. James O'Connor gets the 10 jersey that is due to the injury of Quade Cooper. Lalakai Feketi and Len Ikatel as the midfield. Marika Korombeti, Jordan Pataya, and Tom Wright. The rest of the Australian lineup, a great win by the ABs, it certainly was, and come on Argentina, says Gareth, and your Spanish pronunciation is great. Says Fergus. Gareth, out of curiosity, is there any connection between you going for Argentina to do with the fact that if Argentina win this game, Australia are still catchable for the Springboks? Is that something to do with it, or do you just prefer Argentina? You probably just prefer Argentina. Big love, Hamish. How do the All Blacks have 5 points? Or how do the All Blacks have 5 points? There's 4 tries against 2. That's not a bonus point. One moment. We will have a look at the sheet. I believe they're still on. Yeah, enough. Fair play. They are currently... Yeah, that's weird. They should actually only be on 4 points, shouldn't they? Rather than the 5. That is the Tribe app that have made that little mistake there. But All Blacks, I believe, like you mentioned, they should actually be on 4 there. And yes, just don't like Australia, says Gareth. And hey, thank you, brother, says Katie Dixon. And also, this is stuff I want both teams to win. And then perhaps we should back the Argies to ensure they do not lose all 6 matches, says Fergus. I would love to see Argentina get themselves a victory. I feel like the fact that they were so willing to travel all of last year's competition, no matter where it was, Argentina would hop on a plane and they would go out there and play no matter where they had to. Scotland, they did have their series up against Argentina. Argentina were a worthy challenger. And that one, this is likely their best chance to win, says Fergus there. And also, yes, Brew, come on, Argentina, says RJJ. But looking through at the benches for these two sides, it will be Augustin Crevi, a very experienced Argentine player at number 16. Nahul Tita Chaparro, Joel Scalavi there at number 18. Then Facundo Isa, Rodrigo Bruni, Thomas Kubeli, Thomas Albornoz, and Lucio Cinti as the last man in their Argentine bench. Then for Australia, Billy Pollard, Matt Gibbon, and Pone Fa'amasili, gets the opportunity at 18. I love saying that man's name. As you can tell, I got a little bit too carried away in the way that I said it. Nick Frost, Pete Samu, Tate McDermott, Ire Simoni, and then Reece Hodge is there as the final man off the Wallabies bench. So quite a few new names in these lineups are just to try and mistake them. Seems like whatever flash score has, it's infectious. And also Argentina, definitely the underdogs here, says Yanni Van Vick. And a big love, Brandon. Already downloaded New Zealand versus South Africa game. I was watching the commentary. Very good game, says Katie Dixon. And muy bien, says RJJ. And there as well. Yeah, I can speak a little bit of Spanish. Only like one sentence, which was my intro. Bienvenido de nuevo al canal de Kiwi Lads. About as good as it gets at the moment. I'd love to learn a little bit more Spanish or Portuguese. Something along those lines. I feel like it would be adding to my arsenal. You know, and okay, big love Sebastian too. So here's a Brandon in there. But this game, it will be kicking off in 20 minutes time. We've still got a little bit of time before it does get underway. But I'm looking forward to seeing what James O'Connor can do at number 10. A lot of people felt that he should have been starting or coming off the bench in the last few matches. Interestingly enough, they didn't go with Noah Lolosio as the option at number 10 or 22. Instead, Ere Simoni is out. Argentina by 5. Says Kieran O'Connor. I think we are along the same lines. I believe I went Argentina by 3 in my prediction that I did do earlier on. But just to keep you guys informed, I did say Springboks by 10. So my predictions, they're not the best. I'm working on it, though. I'm just trying to imagine Hamish as a Sicario. I actually can't. Sicario. Did I say that right? I might have pronounced that slightly wrong. But Sebastian, did you see my kicking video when it was playing earlier today, out of curiosity? If not, would you like to see it? I did a little bit of drop kicking. My mum got involved as well. She was a lot more handy with the drop kicks than myself, or she actually did a bit of tee kicking. And there are the Argentinian flags from Katie Dixon there as well. I might slur my words a little bit for this live stream. Do need to mention it's not because I've been drinking. It's just because I'm sleep deprived. And our Marco Vanapola, yeah, the boys, welcome back, mate. Hope you are doing well. How are you feeling at the moment after the 1 hour of sleep? Are the eyes starting to get a little bit heavy, or are you doing all right? Do let me know. And are you working today? Do you have any building to do on the Sunday? And no, I didn't see it. And yes, it'd be an honor to see it. And there's also not really, says Kieran O'Connor. And that one as well. Oops, that was the wrong button, wasn't it? I pressed a button that I shouldn't have. There we go. We will get that one back like that and like that. There we go. I put the thingy in the wrong place. I think is the best way of describing it. I'm about to sneeze as well, which is kind of unfortunate. Can you read my messages, Brandon? Okay, big love, Sebastian. Is it that one, Brandon? Oh, no. That was good balance. Managed to keep it on my hand or my arm so that it didn't end up falling down. But I will mention that the appeal of this video may be just a little bit too much for some viewers, as I am wearing shorts. There you go. Something you never think you'd see from myself. But I will play that one. While I am doing that, I will also get some more head-to-head stats between these two sides so that when we come back in about 4 minutes' time, it is still all good to go. Still heartbroken about it earlier, says Gareth. Although the good news is Makazole Mapimpi had a good game, and so did Lucanio Arm. So that's promising. And I feel like rubbish, no work today, just boring book work today, invoices, reply to emails, etc., says Marco Vanapola. So how long do you think you'll go before you fall asleep from doing those, Marco? I would say, like for me, I'm trying to decide whether or not I stay up till when George goes to KFC, or whether I decide to go to sleep, wake up, and then join George in the KFC proximity. But nonetheless, I will throw on that video of us talking about the drop kicking aspect. We may see a drop kick or two throughout this competition or throughout this match. So yeah, hope you guys do enjoy, and I will see you all in a very short moment. Rounds, and now I've got 3 balls. I managed to get a couple more. Well, I had them, I just wasn't using them. Today, we look at drop kicks, and you can find a few of them around this region of the world. Sorry. So last week, we did see South Africa put on an absolutely clinical display. 26 points to 10 over New Zealand. One of their monumental wins over the All Blacks. But now we look a little bit more at the kicking, and also more specifically drop kicking. Like I mentioned a bit earlier on, we actually saw a drop kick from Andre Pollard in that last match, which came out of nowhere. But what we're going to do is we're going to show you how it happened. Because my drop kicking, believe it or not, is actually a little bit better
than my goal kicking. So we're from about 22 out. Now the reason we're at 22 metres rather than the 60 is because we already filmed a video, but I forgot to turn on the microphone. So because of that, I blew a quad down there. I think I pulled a quad. So that's unfortunate. And the worst thing is we got another camera angle. Oops. I hope it didn't see that. I don't know if it can see us, but if it can't, then this just looks weird. Someone in the distance will think that I'm trying to say hello or maybe help me. But today I've also got different sneakers on, got the socks, got the shorts, and still got the same jersey on from last week, but it's been washed, hasn't it? But I should mention, these legs haven't seen the sun for about 6 months, which is why they're looking as pristine as a jar of mayonnaise. But now, Andre Pollard, 100% kicking accuracy last week, with his drop kick included. My drop kick from 22 metres out. What are the chances of this one going over?
Pretty good.
Pretty good. I'll take it. Here we go. I'll get the pass back from Jaden Hendrickse, as we do know he will be the halfback. Fires it back to me. Oh, just the way to the side. It was close. Yeah, the quad's feeling it. Oh yeah, here we go. Andre Pollard, 22 metres out. Gets it in the pocket. Oh no. Yeah, there you go over.
Don't know if it did actually.
No, we'll say it did though. Yeah. So Andre Pollard, if he uses that drop kick to his advantage, South Africa could find themselves maybe 3 to 6 extra points in this game. And this game is being played at altitude, which does mean drop kicks might go a little bit further. Beauden Barrett though, whether or not he's playing, we are still yet to find out. It is a Wednesday that we are filming this, as normally we only get one sunny day a week. So we thought, why not film it on that one sunny day? It's still pretty chilly though, snow up on the hills. But Beauden Barrett actually winning a game for the Blues in Super Rugby Pacific with a last minute drop goal. Zahn Sullivan was able to do the same. Aaron Smith, oh no, it's too low. So my mum, she's feeling pretty confident that she could knock it over from here. Now she has got bad knees, so I'm a bit concerned. If you want to have a go, we'll give you a go. Do you want to go?
Why not? I'm just about to try to kick it over.
So can I just quickly come over here and say, Kiwi Lads is not responsible for any injury.
Yeah,
that
ACC won't be watching.
Because I haven't ever seen you kick a rugby ball.
I just couldn't see.
It went close. Oh, she's got it.
Is that alright?
It was good. Oh, straight.
Nailed it. Look how straight that went.
Look at the swagger you've got now.
Well, I didn't know if I could do it. Oh, yeah. This is Kiwi Lads on another lovely day, even though I've got wrapped up to the nines. Back to the studio with Hamish. See you later.
Now my skills have come a long way in just 1 week. You guys will remember last week I was missing absolutely everything. This week, it's a bit different. Did that even go close, or was that like way off? They went further than my kicks.
There we go, ladies and gentlemen. That was the kicking performance of a lifetime. I did see earlier on, did you warm up? I didn't. I should have, which I think is why I did end up blowing out my quad. It's healed up quite nicely though. I think it was the walk that we went for after me and George that might have helped it out. And also, hi, says Denny a little bit earlier on. Hope you are doing very well. And didn't expect that dry grass in New Zealand. The weird thing is we've had a lot of rain recently. So I think it was just maybe it just looked a lot drier than it was. I believe it's quite green, but through the camera, it did actually look like it was quite, I guess, orange and F4 warm-up. No idea what he's doing. No aim, out of effing cold. Or out in the effing cold, I love it, says Sebastian. So yeah, who knows? Maybe we need to do a kicking one up against my mum. Have a little bit of a battle head-to-head, and also we have the equality technique from mum. Yeah, her technique was a lot better than me. I think she toe-poked a couple, but it was effective. And that was amazing. 10 out of 10 says Katie Dixon and an ITMY mini woohoo in there and tried to pull a George Cruz. I did, and it went nowhere near it. Mum's quad, says RJJ. And also we have got the laughing face from Refined and it there as well. And practice make perfect, says William. Yeah, one day I will be able to kick them from a decent length out. And until then, we may be waiting a little bit longer. And Andre Pollard versus Hamish in a kicking contest. My money's on Hamish. I feel like if it was me versus Bowden Barrett, I'd have half a shot. But Pollard at the moment, he's kicking 100% in the Rugby Championship. And convincing bartender in Spain to tune into rugby, he found it with Spanish commentary, says I am nutty there. So I guess you would probably, do you speak much Spanish, I am nutty? Because if you don't, this is probably going to be a tricky time for you when you are listening to that one, unless I do synchronize myself so that it's about the same time as yours, and then you will just be able to pick up on little words. And also the 100 says Brandon there. And can you remember my question, message question, of course, you very Hamish George, say to my YouTube channel, I am shocked, do you know? Say, it's for you, George Hamish, say to my YouTube channel, I am shocked, do you know? I do not know much about what George does, and GF is Spanish. Okay. I like how that didn't quite answer the question of whether or not you can speak Spanish. Do you know what she's saying half the time? And also the Christmas emoji, we probably should update that, although we're getting closer to Christmas now. And Pollard kicking 100% because they keep going for touch, says Gareth. And there, and also evening all round too, says Richard. Yeah, big game coming up here for the Wallabies and the Pumas. It should be entertaining. I'm hoping that it is going to be just as breathtaking as the last match that we did see between the All Blacks and the Springboks. My voice might be sticking around. The injuries been tough for the Wallabies. Yeah, they've been missing a lot of players. You've got, I mean, the list, you can literally list them all, really. You've got Quade Cooper, Samu Karevi, they're the big ones. Michael Hooper back in Australia at the moment, chatting especially mods. I have a Facebook business page I made a few months ago. I'm trying to get it to 100 likes. Find me at S. Lee Building Services. I appreciate you guys. Much love, says Marco Fotopola. And we did do the shout out earlier on, so you do know it is legit. Ladies and gentlemen, he paid me money. So be sure to check that out. S. Lee Building Services on the old Facebook. Give it a look and give it some likes. You do get a little bit of insight. It's similar to what we saw on the Discord a little while ago. And also, hey, howdy, hey, brother, says Katie to Richard English. I understand Spanish, not a fluent speaker, says I'm nutty. And sorry, brother, I'm not on Facebook, but if I was, I'd give you a like. And Australia going to win. And All Blacks won. Order is restored to the universe, says William there as well. But I'm nervous for both of these sides because at the end of the day, if Australia win, they will be top of the bunch by quite a bit. And no Callaway or Banks or Bell. That is very true. Are you exhausted, dude? I felt wrecked after only live streaming for 2 hours, says Distracted Sports. You get slightly more used to it, I guess you could say. So how are the eyelids going at the moment, Distracted Sports, for yourself? Are you still feeling kind of wide awake? Do you want to come on for a halftime chat? Do let me know. We can send an email through if you go on Discord or if you go on Instagram, sorry. If you do want to join and just flick me your email and I will send it to you. If you want to come on for a halftime chat, do let me know. And then I will have to wait to see whether or not your eyes are like this or whether you are wide awake after some caffeine. And I tell you guys, mods, especially my name isn't Marco, but it isn't Blaze. My real name is Sean Lee, as you can imagine. Make a fake name on YouTube to be silly, says Marco Fonopola and Go the Pumas, says Mountains of Asylum. And also we have got How's it, Amish? Doing very well. I think I may have recovered from our loss earlier, says Daryl. So I guess the big question is, do you feel the Wallabies or do you feel the Pumas will be able to get themselves a victory and also have a whiskey or have some whiskey and a coffee? I've got more water. And I think that will be the way that I go for a majority of the night, just to keep myself slightly awake. I've got to decide what I'm doing today, because by the time this game finishes, it's probably going to be 9 a.m. So then I've got to decide, do I stay up till 6 when George finishes work, which is 9 hours, or do I sleep for like 8, wake up, and then see George? And Pumas Pumas, says Gonzalo, and also Distracted Sports and Hamish. Well, I like it. I like it. I like that. And found it in light, says Gareth. Go the Pumas. And then nice tie, says Max Power. Thank you very much, mate. It's your dude. Can't promise I'll be coherent. As long as you don't drop anything too offensive, we're all good. I like how that's kind of the chat that I have to George, and he just does it anyway. And who's here after the heartbreak earlier, says Scrumptious, and Island assistant coach is an Archie. Says, I'm nutty. Not too sure, actually, now that I think about it. Who is it? Because I know that Michael Chick is the assistant coach, and my wife is South American, so I'll definitely be supporting Argentina and do Australia have all their players back. They do not. They still have a lot of injuries left, and Scrumptious had heartbreak the past month straight. And there says Marco Vanapola. And New Zealand, or a good firm, in good form after the New Zealand win, says username, I'm doing all right overall. I think it's more the New Zealand public that will be a lot happier with how it has ended up going, mainly because, like, as you guys know, I'm pretty impartial anyway, but it was nice to see the Kiwis get the win, of course. They were in a tough spot. And Hamish, can I come to chat? Says Brandon, possibly not for this one. We will test it out with Distracted Sports and see whether or not that all works out nicely and see if it is something that we can do, because we normally do it with Rugby Itch after the match. I don't know whether or not we are doing it after this match. Maybe we could have, I was going to say maybe we could have a threesome, but I'd mean that in like a different way than a lot of people would be thinking. It is late at northern morning, you know, my brain not working. I wish my wife was South American, so I'll be supporting Argentina, says Sebastian. And also we have got there Felipe left Ireland this year, back to join Czech and South American wife. Ooh la la. Keep on wife swap for the night. And also, Latino ladies, says Gareth. And there's currently the national anthems are being played for these two sides. We will look through at the starting lineups and reserves once again for these two sides. Argentina, it is Galo Montoya and Gomez Cordella in the front row. Matias Alemano at 4 and Thomas Lavanini there at number 5, who has currently got tears in his eyes listening to the Argentine national anthem. Juan Matan Gonzalez, Marcos Crema, and Pablo Matera will be the loose forward trio. Gonzalo Bufrano, Santiago Carreras, Geronimo Della Fluente, Matias Maroni, Juan Emoff, Emiliano Bofelli, and Juan Cruz Malia as the last man there. In the lineup, James Slipper, Lachlan Lonergan, and Tani Alatupo as the front row. Rory Arnold and Darcy Swain as the two locks. Jed Holloway gets another opportunity for the Wallabies. Fraser McWright and Rob Valentini make up the rest of that trio. Nick White, James O'Connor, Lalakai Foketi, Lena Cattell, Marika Corambetti, Jordan Pataya, and Tom Wright. There's the rest of the Australian lineup. Morning, lad, says Dr. Curry, puts her sexy glasses on. Welcome in, mate. Hope you are doing well. And also, Threes at least buy me a drink first. It's Distracted Sports. And Felipe was a coach for the Leinster team, not the Irish national team. Those were Brazilian ones as well. Mint, says Nazi Williams. And well, technically a Romanian wife is a Latino wife as well. It doesn't feel the same, you know, says Sebastian. And wait, where's my glasses? Want to zoom in? Says Nathan. And there as well. And also, the hell is up with BBL. What the hell is up with that stuff, man? Looks like a diaper, says it was Marco Vanapola, and Romanian isn't Latina, and also Pablo Matera. And there says Nazi Williams is one to watch out for. So, yeah, I will get your email through Instagram, which I think you've already actually sent me. You're onto it. I'll have a look. There you go. Right. How do I do this? Hopefully I'll be able to work it out, but we will do that a little bit closer to the halftime break, and we'll have a chat. I feel like you probably don't need anything too fancy, just yourself. We should be good to go. Latino equals roots in Latin, and Romanian is a Latin language. Not sure about the ethnicity. And yes, it is nutty. And also, Hamish Man still up. Good morning, says Spider-Meg. Hope you are doing very well, mate. Whoa, the South Africans, or not the South Africans, sorry. The Argentines are shouting the national anthem. Augustine Crevi scares me a little bit. And go the Pumas, says Alfredo. And also we have got Dr. South Islander Matera. Yeah, he's going to be getting a mullet soon, I would think. So he is well and truly embracing the Christchurch culture. We got, and also Romanian women look fire, says David the Mod. I feel like the way I said fire sounded quite cool. And Crevius Creepy says it was there from Max, and delighted how he locked in Farrell with the contract extension. He has done fantastic work with Ireland, says Mountains of let's see him, or Asylum? No, it's not Asylum, is it? I think I said it wrong the first time. In front row, Ethan de Groot, Tyrell Lomas did well for the Aussie boys, just like the Franks bros. And do we watch the game or listen to him, says GG Buff. Sadly, it is just listening to me, but if you do want to be able to access this game, if you have got Flow Rugby or Stan Sport, anything along those lines, you will be able to watch it for free. there. And can you read my message? Says Brandon, one moment. We will go back up a little bit further on. Where is it, Brandon? I don't think the last one's come through. You may have to send it again. But yeah, do we watch or listen? Says GG Buff. Sadly, just listening. So you might get sick of my voice relatively quickly. Nicolas Sanchez, a player who I wish was back, but still is unavailable. Although Santiago Carreras is filling in that gap very nicely. It's kicked off by Argentina deep into the opposition 22. And now Marika Coromberi making about 15 meters of his first carry of the match. Nick White looking to go to the short side, gives it off to Jed Holloway, the big man from the Waratahs, that have a very decent season for them throughout Super Rugby Pacific 2022. Now, Nick White kicks the ball up high. I think Matthias Alemano was asking for a possibility of that one being out of the back of the breakdown, but now Santiago Carreras, in fact, it was Gonzalo Bertrand, now goes to Carreras. Does have to try and find his way through a gap, but that gap wasn't very big. Same again in Ireland, England, Wales, Scotland, same station. And then Romania has historic Latin roots from Vulgars. It's mostly Eastern European. And then now, that's a gift. That's okay. Juan Imhoff's just scored the try, and it's about as simple of a try as I thought could ever be scored. Juan Imhoff goes in for the first one of the match. And Marika Melbourne Stormy. And they was all right. Juan Imhoff, what happens here? Because there was a big mistake from Australia. And I just couldn't quite believe my eyes. I sat here watching. So Australia, it was just passing. The grubber, everyone waits. Tom Wright makes the mistake, and it just sits up for Juan Imhoff. And just like that, that is one try for the Argentines in this match in the second minute of the game. That is not the start that Australia would have been after. That is for sure. But Juan Imhoff will be very happy with that one. What a start. This is a little prezzy. Well, that is a little prezzy. It is. My brain couldn't comprehend how easily it was. And also say Carreras, again, you have mastered that last name finally, says McPower, and also the try Latin power. And also we have got, and he's off. Now Emiliano Borfelli. Ready to line up this kick. 2 minutes into the game, coaching the Brumbies, apparently. Says Nuzzy Williams, and Oz let the ball fall out of his hand. Yeah, it was just a little bit of a miscommunication. And they both just didn't really look like they knew what was going on. But now, 2 minutes in, Emiliano Borfelli gets it down the middle. And Argentina have got themselves a very handy 7-0 lead. And Ozzy is on Forever Sports ranting and raving right now. Says Marco Vanapola, and also hope Argentina win. But feel Wallabies will be tough to beat. Won't be live streaming this game as I'm going out canoeing. But we'll watch the stream. Canoeing's an interesting choice, Rugby Itch. Whereabouts are you canoeing, and are you any good at canoeing? Do let me know. Try, says Katie Dixon, and also the laughing faces from Nathan in there as well. But Argentina, they've got this ball inside of their own 22. Will start to be rolled back by Gonzalo Bertrand. Just about to put up the box kick. It is going quite high, straight into the sun. It's going to be a hard one to take. Trying to line it up. Nicely taken by Tom Wright. Emiliano Borfelli put in a good chase. Nick White goes back across. James Slipper sold the dummy as if he would pass to Taniela Tupou. Instead took contact with Argentina. We've got some big forwards in there. He should do a poll for whether Lavanini gets a card this game, says Nicholas. It's quite a popular one, isn't it? I know that last game he was very close to getting one, but then they accidentally gave it to the wrong person. And instead, Matthias Alemano, I believe, got it. It was the backup kicker for Argentina after Albanoz. Does Carrera know how to kick for the poles? He's normally pretty decent. Overall, Santiago Carreras, if it's anything like every other place that he plays, like, he's very good. And also, hey, my guys, says Nathan. And then Nicolas Sanchez says, fly and long way to go, says Spider-Man. Hope the Pumas doesn't run out of fuel again in the third game or in the last third of the game, as they always do. And I'll be on Instagram Live, so come join if you want to watch, says Rugby Itch. I hope you've got a waterproof phone, or I guess you plan not to go in the water, which is very strategic for yourself. And also, if only I could insert a GIF, I'll post a happy dance, go the Pumas, says Mountains. It's a nice push at scrum time. Bertrand gives it back to Carreras. That's a great kick. That's a brilliant kick. That's a 50-22. Brilliantly done by Carreras. Like I mentioned, he seems to be able to do everything at the moment, the way that he goes, Carreras. And now It will be a line-out throw in favour of Argentina. They're only 10 metres out from the line. They have started this game at a frantic pace, and they want to be able to keep that intensity on. Australia, they had no one back there. Which stadium is that one in the background? Says Max Power. It is the one that they are playing at, but it's a hard name to say. So I'm going to look it up quickly just to make sure that I do pronounce it kind of right. So the name of the stadium is ESTADIO Bicentenario. Bicentenario. And be sure to like the stream and subscribe to the Kiwi Lad, says Rugby Itch there. And also 5022 says, I'm nutty. It certainly was Gonzalo Berrano. Now continues to drive his way forward in a good carry. The Argentines getting close. And Bicentenario, that's closer again. Argentina go in for a second. They are on fire. Oh, okay. Someone needs to tell Lavanini he should stop trying to fight his own players. Thomas Gallo scores the prop. They're going brilliantly in the early stages of this game. Argentina are just looking like a well-oiled machine. It's got plenty of oil spare. But Gallo goes over. Thomas Lavanini decided he wanted to start fighting Gallo. And I think Pumas vs Wallabies might be one of the best matchups we have right now, says Nicholas. And if the Pumas get 4 tries and win, where do they go on the table? So if they were able to get 4 tries and Australia theoretically only got themselves 1 try, it would mean that they do manage to get themselves up to second, I believe, at the moment. Oh, so where were those these rugby brains when Chica was ours? Says the Big VH show, and see what happens with no hooper and also goal in a Spanish accent. Says I am nutty. And while the Pumas have speed, but the Aussies have stamina. And also the try says I am nutty. So that is going to be now 14-0 after 6 minutes. And David Kidwell encouraged Los Pumas, waste them, boys. There's Nathan. But yeah, Thomas Lavanini was shoving around Thomas Gallo, who was slightly confused at why he was getting shoved by one of his teammates. I think he got a little bit confused at who was on his side and who was against him. But Nick White about to kick this game off. You'd have to say probably the worst start to a match Australia have had in a long time. Pablo Matera takes it nicely. And so the 22 now, Gonzalo Berrano will be firing it back. Try Argentina. Yes, bring those Kiwis now, says Max Power. And yeah, Argentina looking like a well-oiled machine, like I mentioned. David freaking Kidwell. And now that is busy, bro. And Lavanini is such a thug, he fights his teammates, says Max. And it's not about the 4 tries. You must get 3 tries more than your opponent, says Lawrence. So yeah, as long as Australia only get the 1 try, it does mean that they will get that bonus point. But if Australia get 2, then Argentina need 5, and everything from there. And happy dance, go Pumas. That's how you play 4 phase and a try, says Richard. Yeah, they're kind of playing league at the moment. You go 4 phases, and then you've got to try and get rid of it or score. They've been able to do it twice. Emiliano Boffelli, brilliant in the high ball, or under the high ball. I want to say goal out loud like a soccer commentator, says Nathan. No, I've had my fair experience with the old soccer commentary. I did Costa Rica versus New Zealand. I was all happy because they scored a goal. And then after that, it was disallowed and the Kiwis didn't make it to the World Cup. Still hurts me in my soul, you know. At Lavanini has trouble expressing anything. I thought he was about to cannonball tackle him. Yeah, he was really aggressive. And for a start, I thought he was angry at Valentini. And then his aggression went straight towards his teammate. So, you know, it's just like he's just a ball of anger. But he's also a ball of passion, I guess, which is kind of a nice little combo. I was pushing buttons. He said, accidentally deleted your comment. And there, and Argentina scored again. A yell-out goal like Spanish soccer commentator. Says, I'm nutty. I just roll my face around on my keyboard. There's Katie Dixon. And Lavanini is just angry, period. Says Max Power, yeah. He's an angry boy, but he's a decent rugby player when he's not off the field. And come on, I'll stop twerking. Says Spider Mick. Gonzalo Berrano. They don't even need to put the ball into the scrum. It's going to be a free kick in favour of Argentina. This is about as one-sided of a 10 minutes as I have seen in rugby in quite some time. And we've watched some interesting matchups in the past little while. Got his period, says Nancy Williams. And also, Goods my guy and AB's never played. South Africa played bad at times, or played better, sorry. And South Africa played bad at times. And nearly at 16K subs. Oh, yeah, baby, says Marco Vonopoli. Yeah, currently we are sitting. Oh, it's going to be now a penalty to Australia. Good news for them. So we are sitting currently on 15,939. So we are 61 away. It's going to be the oldest player in the camp. I think he's 38. Yeah, I think he's up there maybe about 3 or 4 years older than anyone else for the next oldest. And even that might be a bit of a stretch. It may be longer than that. And where's this game played? It is in Argentina at the stadium. Stadio, what was it called? Stadio Bicentenario. Bicentenario. There you go. That's where it's played. Scripts Rugby posted an interesting stat about how Australia has a massive half-time net points deficit with Argentina, says the Big V8 show. That's going to be another penalty to Australia, though. They seem like they are starting to get themselves a couple more phases together. They won't go for the 3, I wouldn't think, from there. Hit like, says Kieran. Yeah, let's just keep asking him the stadium's name. Says, I am nutty. And go the Pumas, says Alfredo. Now, James O'Connor, he is kicking this one for the touchline. So currently about 30 metres out they were. They find themselves now about 15 out from the line with a line out to come. So it's going to be an important throw, that is for sure, in Argentina with the big bicep there. And good attempts, Senor Hamish. I don't think that's how I would be pronounced in Spanish, is it? Now, Jed Holloway goes back to Valentini, tries to go straight over the top of Carreras, but he has been able to just drag him down. James Slipper, he's over. And that's another try. And Bicentenario, says Kieran. And also 38 is not old. Dear God, I don't saw that. I'm my mid-40s. That will make me old. Only old for rugby player-wise. But some of the rugby players around the world do play till they're like mid-40s, like you mentioned. So, age is just a number. If you feel young and you're feeling happy, that's all that matters. And there, but James Slipper, why is it that all of the forwards, like 2 props already we have seen scoring tries? This is a high-scoring game. It always is, though, between these two sides. It's always entertainment, back to back to back. And this game has a personality disorder, says distracted in there. But Australia has a massive net points advantage in the second half against Argentina. And Hamish, you're in a much better spirit than last week this time, says Lawrence. The funny thing is, last week at this time, I had George round for that live stream. So I feel like I was probably on edge watching him, making sure he wasn't doing anything bad on the stream. While I'm very immature, so there is that. Argentina started off so well that my stream has cut off. It's all good now. Says Sebastian, but that kick's gone over, and now the score is going to be 14 points to 7 after only 12 minutes. They're scoring at more than a point a minute on one of the warm-up matches for all teams a month before the World Cup. Says Richard, I'm not too sure whether or not they have announced them yet, but at the end of the year, I know that New Zealand have a game up against England. South Africa play Ireland and France. No, maybe not France at the end of the year. There are a few big matches coming up, whereas George, I believe he would have almost started work now. Kick's gone out on the full. Okay, the ball was over the line already. They do have to go back to the halfway line. So mistake from Argentina that time. The momentum. I've said it many times, but it's shifting many times. It's like they're on a seesaw. That's great when George joins in. Makes for a good stream, says username. And France plays South Africa will be good. Says I am nutty there. But yeah, he is going to be yam farming today. So that is why he sent me a message pretty much straight after or it must have been about 6 o'clock last night. And he was like, hey, I'm going to have KFC for tea after work. And I was like, oh, yeah. That sounds like you're going to I can't remember what I said, but I said something like, oh, yeah, cool. And then he said, that was an invite, you idiot. And then I was like, oh, yeah. Yeah, good. And ham farming, what? Yam farming. Like the little yams, yams, the vegetable. The little weird knobbly ones. And George got a job. Nice. He's had it for a little while, which is why sometimes he doesn't pop in. But yeah, KFC does seem like it's going to be the plan for tomorrow night. So I'm probably going to go into a KFC coma. But I feel like I would have slightly earned it. And a yam is a root vegetable that grows underground. What is his job? Compounds for fertilizer. No, they are up to the harvesting stage. So he's got I think he rotates them. something like that. And then he does kind of sort them as well. For the nice inside ball to Rob Valentini. But it's been extremely wet round here. Like, we've had a little bit of flooding. So because of that, it has meant that he's had a few days off. And through all the FC or KC, says, I have nutty and also yams are good roasted, says Nazi Williams. And yeah, they're almost a mix between a potato and a parsnip, aren't they? Or a kumara and a parsnip, I guess. Be a good way of describing them. Now across to Rory Arnold. Quick hands to James Slipper. He's already scored one today. Almost was able to get himself another flat ball. It's bounced out of the hands of Jed Holloway, but they're going back for the penalty at sweet potato to us. Thought yams were like taro. I don't know. I might get a picture of a yam and put it behind me. Yam vegetable. Okay, that's interesting because the pictures of yams are different to the yams. Okay, the yams that I believe he is harvesting are Ufiofi or Ufiofi. They look a little bit different. They kind of look inappropriate, so I probably can't put them up on the screen. But yeah, they're a different type of yams that are kind of like the small, weird shaped ones. And Australia are the Commonwealth Games champions. And why Argentina is playing so well? Yeah, very strange, Hamish. Different format completely. It is, instead of the sevens, it is union for this one. And give me some rain, Hamish. 34 degrees in Ireland today and all week. Oh, that's a bit warm. It's currently 4 degrees here. So I guess if we give you rain, can you give us like 10 degrees just to even it out a little bit? And they're going to play sevens rugby in the Commonwealth. Says the big VHO. It looks like they are going to be taking on the 3 points here now for James O'Connor. It does go over. And now it does make the score 10 points to 14. Once again, high scoring between these two guys. And also how the Blackcocks doing. I haven't seen too much of their action recently, so I'm not too sure whether or not they are still playing or whether it's out of the badminton season for themselves. And also, is that Gone Beef like Star Trek, says I am nutty. And yeah, but now Santiago Carrera is going to be kicking off for Argentina. 17 minutes into this game. I like the fact that this first half's going a little bit slower than the match between South Africa and New Zealand, as we do get to enjoy it for just a little bit longer. Going to be passed back across Jed Holloway. He did have a mistake down the other end of the field. Interesting, I'm far ahead with my stream. But we're the same for the Springboks, says the big V8 show. I wonder if I'm behind a little bit. Once this ball, okay, it didn't go out from Nick White, but once we do have a ball going out, I'll see whether or not I can skip forward like 10 seconds or so. Now Valentini, it's going to be nice work from Fraser McWright. He wins the penalty for Australia on the halfway line now. No, I think it's just maybe the different coverage. What are you watching it on to Big VHR? Are you on Stan Sport or are you on something else? Do let me know. And also the corned beefs. Here's a Nathan there. James O'Connor, he's looking to the corner this time. They are not playing at the altitude that the All Blacks and South Africa were. Hey, someone hacked, says Nazi Williams. And Hamish, were you watching this match? It is paid streaming platform. Saw your video to watch for free using VPN, says Coding in there. So pretty much the plan or the one that we use, we can watch in New Zealand without a VPN. So that is why it's pretty easy. For us, Aussie sponsor is a Spanish name, Suspicious, says I am nutty. And also, hey, someone hacked, says Nazi Williams, and Corn Beef make the female calves bigger than men's rugby props calves, says Marco Votopolo. I didn't realize that was a thing. Now Tom Wright trying to run it out from his own in goal area. It's a risky tactic by Marika Corumbetti. Now gives it a boot downfield. It's a decent strike, and that one is going to go into touch about maybe 60 meters out from where he kicked it from. Now, yeah, Marco. And also, my unk made pizza with corned beef A was delicious. There's Nathan in there as well. Okay. They're saying it's the best kick they've ever seen from Marika Corumbetti. Pablo Matera, though, running it hard at the line. El Yamako in the arms. Says Nazi Williams, maybe I need to start eating some corned beef. I mean, I got salmon, which I guess is not quite the same, is it? That was a big shot from Marcos Crema on his opposite number. Fraser McWright now going back across. Leonard Cattell in the midfield. Nice run up to the 22-meter line. And it seems like Argentina's defense so far has been relatively strong. But anytime they do recycle it a little bit quicker, Australia, those gaps can start to form. Nick White looking back to the left-hand side. Setting it up for Tong and Thor, Taniela Tupou. You got to take him down low. And Gallo, the try scorer for Argentina, has done just that. Now Valentini trying to bump his way over Marcos Crema, who is injured. He will be one that we watch for a little bit longer. It looks like there was a little bit of a, whoa, who's that? There's a random man who just ran across the field. I think it was the water boy, but they want to check this one to see if there was a neck roll on the ground. Thunder thighs. There's Nathan in the shoulders. They go higher than the neck, says Marco, and I want Argentina to beat Australia, although Argentina may have just conceded the try. I think they're trying to say that Pablo Matera maybe experienced a neck roll, but there was a player who ran, or it was a coach or a trainer who ran straight across. That could have been dangerous for him. He almost made the tackle. Oh, it could be a 4 pass as well. There's quite a bit to check for this one. And Hamish, what is your favorite KFC burger? If I had to pick, I'll probably go a Colonel Stacker, but because they don't normally have Colonel Stackers, I guess I don't mind it double down, but that's not really a burger. That's just chicken in it. But I'd say, like, I don't mind a Zinger Stacker, but they are quite spicy. And good evening from Germany. Sorry that I'm late, says Gavin. No worries at all, mate. The moment I think they want to check this one to see whether or not it is a try. And speaking of pizza, did you see that Domino's pulled out of Italy? The Italians were having none of it. Out of the back of the hand for me. Yeah, that's flat. I would say. I thought that what they were going to be looking for was the neck roll on Pablo Matera, but I think they're all right with it. And I believe. Okay, they're checking this previous ruck of Pablo Matera. I'm having locust, wild honey for breakfast. Right. What happens to Pablo? Pablo, it's picked up. Okay. I think they're going to call it a no try because Pablo Matera got flipped because Domino's is an Italian. And did you guys get over being kicked out of the Football World Cup by Peru? Says Max, or maybe it was Costa Rica. It was Costa Rica. Yeah, no, it's all right. It was Costa Rica, though. They beat us 1-0 in the end. And there's a gangster fuller in the street that likes to walk around with his shoulders higher than the neck. He's like 60 kgs. I'm glad that the Abbies won today. That shut a few people up, says Gavin. And there as well. Okay. The Australian commentators are saying that it is absurd that the try has been disallowed, whereas if it was an Argentine player, I would think that they'd be pretty happy with the try being taken away. You know, try says Spider-Meek. And there as well. And that's rough for my money. Pablo put himself in that position, says Distracted Sports. And yeah, he did kind of, like, the thing is, with James Slipper, he did have him under the arm rather than just around the neck. But this is an absolute absurdity, is the comment from the commentator. Right, I'm going to look at this again. So Pablo goes in, tries to turn it over. So Lonergan flips him a little bit extra. Yeah, it was weird. It was a weird one. Not really, Gavin. Says Spider-Meek, and who cares what the Aussie commentator says Max Bauer. I was just informing you, what he was feeling. I mentioned about Justin Marshall, how he wasn't too happy with that Bowden Barrett yellow card, then watched it again and went, oh, yeah, no, maybe it was. And no, they left Italy because the Italians wouldn't give in to the Domino's pizza. Imagine selling cheese-covered cardboard to the people who invented pizza. Says Sebastian, but currently now, kicked out on the full. That's not what he would have wanted, but it is going back for the initial advantage in favour of Argentina. And also, that was Andrew Murden saying it was absurd, says Distracted Sports. This is going to sound like a dumb question. He's Kiwi, isn't he? Andrew Murdens. Played for the Crusaders, if I'm not wrong. And also, someone pulls WNS here. A Pizza Hut base is way better than Domino's. I do enjoy a big pan-based pizza, It's decent. They actually have Pizza Hut down south now as well, which is something I never used to have. Hey, Bunnings NPC last night. Says Brandon, they did indeed. And 2 4 passes, no try, says Mike Smith. And like one of the commentators said, they probably would have found something else to call it as a no try and trust a Kiwi to defend the ref. All Blacks have never gotten a bad call, says Joseph. And there's all. And also, Box have the heart. AB's win for Foster's sake. And question for you, Hamish. Yeah, fire away. And Andrew Moon and Justin Marshall, same thing, says Gareth. And is the same Aussie commentator who starts, it's like he's having it straight. No, that is the other guy. That is, I can't remember his name. And yes, Andrew Mertens, Cantab, great in there. But now Argentina trying to go for that rolling maul. 23 minutes gone in this one. Brilliant run from, it was Geronimo de la Fuente. I think he's down. Yes, he is. And Argentina have gone through again. I think the Wallabies defense has been a little bit weaker than it normally would be here. Del la Fuente. Okay, here we go. He's lying down. I think he's quite sore. I hope I spelled De La Fuente correctly. They haven't shown his name yet for the spelling. But that's all right. I'm sure you guys will very quickly correct me if I have got it wrong. Is that how you spell De La Fuente? And this game is madness and blew a hammy, says Distracted Sports. I mean, to be fair, when I did my kicking, I blew a quad, didn't I? Got to warm up. He probably did, though. And I was like, look at that goal. And there's an insult to the original makers, or God's father of pizza, and Fuente. Did I have an extra? What did I put in there? You missed Marco's comment. One moment. We will go back, Nazi. When I was playing rugby, I know why. I know guys who will wear the shoulder pads under their shirts when they hit the town so that they look like complete knives. I feel like that's something that Johnny Sexton would consider. You know, just a little bit more. Like, I kind of look like I'm wearing them at the moment because these almost do have, like, I don't know how to show it, but they kind of do have a little bit of padding there, which is weird because why do you need padding? I guess it's just for the shape, isn't it? But that one has gone over. Did I spell De La Fuente wrong? Did I have an extra letter in there? Fuente, rather than Fluente. De La Fuente. There we go. We'll go like that. And also, their Foster and his wife can go hard out last night. And Richie should have been the 10 in the first place, says Dalmain. And feels like I'm watching highlights, says Mike Smith. Yeah, these highlights that they do make after the game are going to be probably as long as the rest of the game. Happy dance, says Mountains. And yes, in your face, Aussie commentator, says Max Bauer. And also, anyone like pineapple on the pizzas? I know that splits opinions. Like, that is literally... like, you either love it or you hate it, and there's no, like, middle ground for that one. And good to see Fletcher Null. And there for the AB says the flying pan man it was. Or Tom Wright hasn't been able to line it up, and instead it's going to be bouncing back onto the side of the Aussies now, though. Jed Holloway going down the wing, tries to find the offload, gives it off to Thomas Gallo, the youngster. He's got plenty of potential for his future. He's still probably got a good 10 years in the Pumas kit if he can stay healthy. That was close to a knock-on from Carreras. Yes. Not kicked it into touch. The Aussie commentator once again said that it was surely a knock-on. Tom Wright tries to go straight through the gap. Wasn't quite able to get through Matthias Alemano. That was a knock-on from Nick White. No, that one's also gone backwards. Okay. And now Marcos Crema trying to turn it over. Wasn't able to do so. Hamish, can you cha-cha? I cannot cha-cha, unfortunately. Although if I knew how to cha-cha, maybe I could. You know, you got to see it. I'm a good learner. If Fuente... I'll pronounce that L. You put on your De La Fuente. So it's De La Fuente rather than Flu. Sorry, I did end up getting a bit excited and adding an L in their toxic masculinity. Some bluffing, says Nazi Williams. 27 minutes gone. Darcy Swain tried to go around the side, and he has now been penalised once again. Sorry, is the scoreboard correct? No. It has got an extra try for Australia at this point in time. So it is currently 21 points to 10. I'm not too sure how long it will be before they take away that try, though. And try garlic pizza with extra cheese and bacon, says Nathan. I did get some McCain's pizzas that are like garlic and cheese, but they haven't got like extra stuff on them. Like extra cheese and bacon. It does not have that. I'm in Auckland and I got a soccer tournament today. So hopefully you do end up doing very well in there and not the pineapple on pizza debate. First, I'm going to start flying discussing that topic. So here's Marco Vanapola. Darcy Swain, he did end up going a second time there, which is why he did get himself penalised. But now Julio Montoya, he throw on this ball and it's gone in quite nicely. Brilliantly claimed by, I believe there was Lavanini now. Goes across into the hands of Matthias Maroni. And now it's 21-10. And they're nicely stolen by the Wallabies. And now Jed Holloway trying to pierce his way through. Chicky likes ABs on toast, says Dr. Weak Wrist. And they puff up their shoulders and start pulling their pants up and do shin kicks while saying kiss, kiss, as they kick. Now, beautiful ball to Ere Simone. He's had his ankle taken out from underneath him, but 5 meters out from the line now. Fraser McWright tries to stretch. Looks like there's some sort of injury there for Ere Simone. It looks like the referee's having to tell everyone to calm down. There's another injury for Australia. They've had so many. It's just that the right score says Spider-Mick. It is not. It's currently 21 points to 10. And the Arita's playing in the soccer tournament as well. And the Argentinian flags from Katie Dixon and Awe. Let's go. I hope I didn't just offend a whole heap of people with that one. But anyone who is new to the channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. It is hugely appreciated, you guys all being here for this one. And yet delicious, says it was Distracted Sports. Is it true that New Zealanders put beetroot on their burgers? It is. I have never tried beetroot on a burger. That one almost didn't find touch just. No, it didn't. They are going to be continuing. Jordan Patai has done beautifully. Keep that one in the field of play. I think a lot of people thought that one had gone out, but James O'Connor trying to go through. Marcos Crema rips him down. That ball of aggression that he is. Nick White now goes off to Marika Korombetti. Almost stolen there. And 21 points to 10. Love the accent, says Max. And also we also put South Africans in our burgers, says Obi. And the Angara stupid New Zealand stuff is hilarious, bro. And there as well. Now back into the pocket. Carreras gives it a nice boot down the middle of the park. Down to Tom Wright, who is just outside of his own 22. Now goes for a kick of his own, looking for a possible bit of territory, but it's cleaned up nicely by Juan Matan Gonzalez. In fact, it was Juan Cruz Malia. He was blocked by Nick White. Then now it bits up, sits up, and it's going to be another try for Argentina. The bounce of the ball is going their way. It's like they're playing with a round one, playing some football, but I believe Juan Matan Gonzalez has been able to get that try for Argentina. So Nick White, that was a little bit of karma for him because he did try and block the man initially, and it kind of backfired because his back wasn't quite where he needed to be. Gonzalez. There we go. He has been able to score the try in the 30th minute. This game has a lot of tries being scored. And at the moment, we have just seen the one for Australia. Yes, what's going on in Australia? And also, since I heard the Aussie commentators mocking Ireland and we are a joke, who had no hope against the Aussies, I do enjoy the Aussies getting stuffed. I know it was 2011 World Cup, but it's still hold a grudge. Says the Mountains. And they have 4 tries already, Pumas. They are on absolute fire at the moment. And try Pumas and Beetroot giving sandwiches, period, since says I'm nutty. And also Australia losing will help me out mentally, says Gareth. And at the moment, Argentina are well and truly on their way to getting themselves their first ever point for the Rugby Championship of 2022 and 2021. Too many beefs eaten, says Dogo Argentino. And now vamos Pumas, carajo, aguante la Argentina. Hopefully I said that not too badly, and bad defense by both teams, says Richard. There are a lot of gaps that are opening up, that is for sure. That's fun, but like I mentioned, anyone who is new, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. We are only 60 subscribers away from hitting 16,000. So if you do want to help us out, please do. It's a bonus point victory as it stands. It certainly is. Emiliano Boffelli takes the deep breath, looks at the post. It's not an easy kick near the 22. Also way by the touchline. Let's go Pumas. Checker strikes back. And also, imagine Argentina going into the quarterfinal against Australia, says Atini. Boffelli just, that skimmed the post, but it didn't quite come round enough. They won, so the score will remain at 33 points. Actually hyped, or still hyped, that the ABs actually won in Ellis Park, and Wallabies will bounce back in the second half like the previous game, says Carl Thompson. And there, the thing is, I know who your picture is of because I have a sister who was a big fan of that band. She was a bit sad when they did become 4 rather than 5, but I think she's hoping for a reunion at some stage there as well. And Pumas need to win for championship point, says Spider-Meg. It's going to be a knock-on against the Australians. Imagine the table after 2 rounds, 5-5-4-4 in terms of points. It would be awesome. And I feel like that's similar to what we saw for the Northern Hemisphere versus Southern Hemisphere tour with the fact that everyone seemed to be pretty even. And yeah, I hope it is the same for this one as well. What I'm quickly going to do while I am ready is I'm going to go like this. I'm going to go onto my Gmail. And you're a legend. Thanks for bringing us the games. Says Claudio, no worries at all. We are going to be covering plenty more in the near future as well. You have a sister, creepy noises, says Gareth. I do. Yes, but she is secret. You know? I'm just quickly going to go like this.com and I'll send that link over to my guest for halftime. This will actually be, the funny thing is, this is the first time I will be meeting him, which is kind of weird, but we have chatted quite a bit. He's actually in the chat at the moment. Now, on their 22, we are Argentina, who is going against who? So the next rounds, it will be Australia taking on South Africa and New Zealand taking on Argentina. And also, will Australia beat New Zealand in 2 weeks? Or they've got a little bit longer. They've got about 30 days or so before we do end up facing up against the Aussies. But it's going to be an awesome one. Checo is responsible, in my opinion, for beginning the building of Leinster and by extension Ireland, the force they are today. He's a great coach, even if he is a dick. And based on recent performances, what are the chances of a Northern Hemisphere team will win the World Cup? I think pretty high, to be fair. Like, for me, it's still like Southern Hemisphere because of those previous World Cups. A lot of people look at that. And Dan thought you were going to send an OnlyFans link. Says Gareth, nah, don't have one of those at this point in time. I don't think any of you would buy it either. Did George get along with the Argentine chick he got him in contact with last week? She is still about somewhere, I believe. But he hasn't had much of a chat to her other than on the live stream. I don't think I'm still here. Says the Street Sports, keep her away from the rude guys in your live streams, bruv. And also Gareth with the laughing face. From Marco, that's gone up high. Emiliano Boffelli, he's taking it again. It's going to be a foot race. Marika Corumbetti tries to stop him. He's been absolutely smacked down on the ground. What's happening with the Aussies? See, here's Cameron. They are struggling, but that could be another try. Oh. And Marika Corumbetti, a little bit of push and shove out there. And let's go, my guy. Says Nathan. And that one as well. Have you used StreamYard before Distracted Sports? Do let me know. And also do let me know if that link actually did go through, or else I might have put your email in wrong. Rugby Championship will be decided between South Africa and New Zealand. Just depends which one of them gets the most bonus points. Get Georgia Latino wife will be a challenge, probably worth it, though. Says Sebastian, I'm sure he would be very keen if I was able to work out a way to get him one. Right, Carl Dixon giving the players a stern warning, saying we've already seen a little bit too much of the pushing and shoving throughout this one. And also, that's conundrum, isn't it? If your sister does OnlyFans, do you share it so she earns more, or pretend like it doesn't exist? Good question there. Ateneo, I like that use of the emojis to get yourself an Argentinian flag. Very surprised, but pleased with Argentina's game so far. Right, they have actually called it as a no try. I don't think Corumbetti's been able to stop him, though. From my first initial reaction, I believe the ball was down. But I could be proven wrong in this replay. Aussie should learn how to adapt playing away. And here's a link where you can find a wife. Sebastian. Oh, he might have dropped that. This will be the view. Is he short of the line? I think that touches the line. I think. Okay. That's grounded, I believe. So that is going to be another try for Argentina. And this time, Emiliano Boffelli has been able to score it. Oh, they need a clear, conclusive evidence. If not, it's a goal line dropout. This is a big call, because it initially went up as a no try. There's no compelling evidence. I'd have thought the ball on the ground would have been a good enough one to just say it. I also feel sorry for you already, Nicole Kidman. And also we have got there, what does the Aussie commentator think? He thought Marika initially stopped it, but then he said that there was decent chance of it being over. And also we have got there, nobody got a link to watch the match online. Says Nicholas, depending on what country you're in, you have got Flow Rugby as an option. And also maybe Stan Sport. Also, just have to say emphatic win from the ABs at Ellis Park. And also, we have got their Russian wife for George. Oh, well, I'm willing to pay all the expenses. And as well, there you go. Nice one. And also, we have got their Am I Forgiven Yet? I suggest switching to subscriber-only mode, 5 minutes at least. I'm on several channels and it helps dealing with those spammers and trolls. Although, in a weird way, they've kind of become part of a running meme on the channel. How it's just like, you're going to get a few of them. And I feel like anytime you see them coming, when the stream's just popping off. They're kind of an indication of like, if they put spammers in, it means that you must be doing something right. That's a try. Safa TV Ref says, I'm Nutty and Nicole married a Kiwi. His name is Cole Kim, and she married to Keith Urban. Is he the one? I think. If I am not wrong there, one moment, we'll go back up. That's going to be a nice one. Once again, going forward. And also, there we go. Sorry, I was just trying to catch up with the chat. That is going to be another little bit of a mistake from Argentina, and the penalty goes the way of Australia. And the Bulls sniffed that white line. Come on, that's a try. Here's Nathan. Yeah, it was quite close, wasn't it? But I should mention if Distracted Sport, if you are still here, pretty much when you do join StreamYard, you won't be added into the stream straight away. It will be down the bottom, so you can join early, and then I can add you in when we do bring you in, rather than if you're worried that it might end up putting you straight in. I haven't got your email right. I might have put it in the wrong. Who did I send it to? Someone called Tony. One moment, I'll try it again. At O'Sullivan, do you have a picture of a cat as your picture, Anthony? That's what it's got there. Anyway, yeah. Do you have a picture of a cat? Maybe. If you have a picture of a cat, hopefully it is there. And thank you, Hamish. Keith Urban, if you pronounce it right. And please do Rugby Challenge 4 dream matches again. I would quite like to. And yes, I do, says Distracted Sports. So hopefully it is there. It may come across as spam, maybe, because we do try and infect your computer with a virus and everything like that. That is, of course, a joke. We don't do that. Right, they're checking to see if there was a no-arms tackle here. Okay, keep try, Australia. And thank you, Hamish. And also, we have got the Stan Sports. Oh, Marcos Crema, I think, has just taken out no arms. Yeah, no, there's not much of a wrap there, so Slipper landed hard on his back. And because of it, I think there might be a yellow card here for Marcos Crema. We mentioned he's a ball of frustration, although so is Thomas Lavanini. There's a lot of passion in this Argentinian side. Oh, landed hard on his back, James Slipper. Yes, he's got a little bit of cushioning, but did land pretty hard. And also, that's a red, says Richard English. I think they've just given it as a penalty. They want to sign up to Stan and cancel it after watching the game, says Nathan in there as well. But yeah, that's actually, I still have a Stan account without Stan Sport, which is interesting. Cremo or Lavanini always, says Gareth, and he was rapping, and then Oz got blown away by the second tackle, and red is harsh, just a yellow, I reckon, says Sebastian. But yeah, in the end, they did just go for the penalty. Now, only 1 minute left of the first half. I have a cat name, the meanest cat in somewhere. I'm sure he's also a dangerous individual, but he has a brain, so most people focus on Lavanini, says Nicholas. And yeah, I think Matera, it was awesome seeing him play for the Crusaders. I hope to see him again this year in Super Rugby, or next year, sorry, because he just seems to bring so much into that loose forward trio. I really want to see a match between the Barbarians and the British and Irish Lions. Ooh, it could be quite a cool match to get going on a Rugby Challenge. And now it's going to be going back across Nick White. Oh, it's big contact from Marcos Crema on, and it was the man at number 12, which I believe was Lalakai Fuketi, I think it was. Good tackle on Fraser McWright. The siren is sounding. And Nick White goes back across Valentini. Off to James Slipper. Oh, I see a fellow down the bottom with the hands up as well. Jed Holloway. Oh, no, it's going to be the turnover. In fact, it's going to be the penalty going the way of Australia. So another opportunity for Australia to either add the 3 points or maybe they go for the full 7 which I think is probably the smarter option here because 13 points behind, still just a little bit too much of a margin for them to be able to make up. And Mabeka, Popular, and Pearl had a shop in Main Street, so Minas Cat and Daparo. I have no idea what that means. Is it a song? Is that what that is? And also, they're watching YouTube. There was one from 2017. Says, I'm nothing, also thanks. Says a 10 there as well. But Australia, they have kicked for the corner now, 5 meters out from the line. It is going to be, I think that was Thomas Gallo that time. He did make the nice slow tackle, but then falling over the ball, Argentina pretty much just flopping in like they were diving into a swimming pool. Lachlan Monaghan. Now it's going to be loose. Gallo takes it, and he's going to go for, he's kicked it into touch. The prop has given it the boot, and that will be the end of the first half. Gallo, he's got plenty of spring in his step still. Of course, he was able to get himself the try in the early stage. Still on the canoe, just ended the Instagram live. Says Rugby. So it is good news that you are still, I guess, canoeing about, or that you have finished your canoeing. So hopefully you're nice and dry. I will quickly update this down the bottom just so that we have a scoreboard. 26 points to 10 of the Australia. So, ladies and gentlemen, I've got a special guest who I have not actually met before up till this point, but I've seen a bit of him on the YouTube. Some of you guys will know as well. This man, don't know who he paid at YouTube, but this man gets views in every video that he uploads. But nonetheless, ladies and gentlemen, for the first time ever on the Kiwi Lads channel, is this your dad? No, it's not my dad. Could be. Welcome in.
Oh my
How
God.
you going, mate?
I'm here. What an honor. First time caller, long time listener. Tony from Distracted Sports. Hamish, how are you, brother?
I'm doing very well. Nice to meet you, mate. Face
Great
to
to meet
face.
you, man.
Well, kind of camera to camera.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like you've been a big part of my life for the last 2 weeks. I wake up at 3 a.m. and it's like, oh, Kiwi Sports is like covering the semblance between Namibia and Bangladesh. Oh, I've got to watch that. Desperate to watch that coverage. So you're doing a great job, Hamish. Keep it up, buddy.
Appreciate that. You are too, mate. Your analysis, your editing, on point.
Yeah, I don't know about the
Green screen, the
analysis.
sliding across.
Yeah, there's a lot of that. Yeah, it's just all a facade. It's just to cover up for my lack of knowledge. So I just throw a lot of like flashy things at the screen. Yeah. You can
See, I just talk fast.
You do a great job, mate. You do a great job. Wasn't that a beautiful clearance to touch made by the prop there at the end? It was.
Thomas Gallo scored the try, put it into touch at the end, and subscribe to Distracted Sports. There you go. Sebastian's already got your link there in the chat. Be sure to check him out. The recent video that you did do, it was to do with the biggest grubs in rugby. Did Thomas Lavanini make the list?
He did. He was number 3, actually. And I got in trouble for that. It got age restricted by the good folks at YouTube because it was just a compilation of violence, essentially.
Yeah, Are you sure it wasn't that clip of like that cat getting kicked near the start of it?
Oh, no, that's Baxter. That's Baxter, the dog from Anchorman. It's a great clip, that one. Yeah, 100%. I like to put in a little bit of other sort of media and culture into these rugby videos, but, you know. Yeah, it's been good. It's been good getting involved in the YouTube scene. And you and 2 Cents, you guys are the kings of it in New Zealand, aren't you?
A little bit. I mean, that's the thing. There's not many of us, is there? The rugby YouTubers. Like, you can probably, we're almost getting to the stage how you could list them on more than 2 hands, which is good news. Because at one stage, it was like 4.
Yeah. And I always, when I watch any of you guys, I watch Zach from Haka Time or you or 2 Cents or whoever, or even Rugby Itch, and I'm like, you guys know so much, you know, all the players and all the teams. And I'm like, oh, I just make dick jokes and like rugby, you know? So like, I feel like I don't have a lot to offer in that regard, but what a day for New Zealand today. What a day. Hamish. How did you feel about it? You try and be down the middle, don't you? When you're calling the games. I was in a glass case of emotion during the South Africa All Black game. It was an emotional period of my life. It really was. And I didn't keep my powder dry. Things got, I swore a lot. I had to go at the South African Rugby magazine at some stage. It got hectic. It really did. It really did.
So the big question I've been asked quite a bit.
Yeah.
Ian Foster, does he keep the job? That's a fun question.
It's a hard one because, like, I never wanted to watch the All Blacks lose. And today I definitely didn't want to watch them lose at all. But I really don't want him to be the coach anymore. Like, it looks like a quality lad. Like a really nice guy. So it's not really nice to advocate for someone to lose their job. But we've got ourselves into a real sticky position here. Like, we're not giving Razor Robinson a good platform to actually come into. He's not able to create his own unit. We've got a contract that we can't afford with Ian Foster. What are we going to do with that? You've made that point out a couple of times. I've heard you. He's not going to quit and just like forego a mil, 1.5 mil or whatever he's going to get. That baby boomer's got to get his last check. So it's a tricky spot. I think for the good of the game, the good of the team, I think he shouldn't be the head coach anymore. But we've really dug ourselves a deep hole here. But today was a great day and a great time to get a victory, and probably one of the most famous victories of my life. And I'm old, Hamish. I don't know about that. I don't know about you. You're a young fella. You've still got that new car smell. But it was just backs against the wall time today, and like everyone writing us off. It was pretty incredible to watch. How did you feel? Did it, like, when you're watching it, when you're trying to be down the middle, did you get sort of carried away with that little Kiwi spirit inside you? You are the Kiwi lads,
I mean, there was a little bit of something there, but I think it was just because, like, I love a close game of rugby. And up until, like, the last 10 minutes or so, it was like, I don't know who's winning this. Like, either side have got their moments. And then that yellow card of Bowden Barrett, I thought, uh-oh, that might be the end of us.
Yeah, 100%.
And Scott Barrett, his big bro, was younger
Dog
bro.
roll.
Well, he's bigger.
he's physically bigger, so we'll go with that, But yeah, that was amazing. I think he is older as well. I think Geordie's the youngest. Well, Geordie definitely is the younger of the three. It was a hell of a game. It reminded me a lot of before your time, but the 96 game, Ellis Park, when we were trying to win the series over there. That was huge, and they had the likes of Sean Fitzpatrick, Andrew Murdens, Andrew Murdens wasn't actually playing, and Zinni, and all sorts of great players, and Christian Cullen and Jeff Wilson at their top level. And that was the first time we were ever going to win a series in South Africa. It was the biggest thing in New Zealand, rugby to that point. And it was just such an intense game, and it was all to play for 10 minutes to go. And it all came flooding back to me. It was pretty intense. I get pretty worked up. I'm one of those sort of fans. I'm one of those fans that makes you feel uncomfortable, because you're like, Tony, would you just cool it down a little bit? But yeah. So I'm impressed that you're able just to love the game, love watching it, and just enjoy it. Good for you.
And then straight away after that game, we have a game with how many tries in that first half and how many disallowed? We've got 5 tries on the board, about 3 other tries that have been disallowed.
Oh, yeah.
Bit of a hectic one.
Very hectic. Spicy little meatball, this game. It really is. It's really kicking off in a lot of ways. Highlight of the game so far has got to be Thomas Lavavini trying to pick a fight with the guy who scored the try. The guy, he must have mum issues or something, because he has a tough time expressing and emoting, in a way that isn't violent. He's an interesting chap, isn't he?
He is. He always wears his heart on his sleeve, but he's always also ready to punch someone if he has to.
And he also doesn't have a brain. He's like, it's a mean thing to say, Tony. Don't say mean things about people. But he does a lot of silly things. He's a grub. Can we say that? Can we say he's a grub? He's a grub.
So.
Yeah, there we go.
The fact that he almost got a yellow card last week kind of cemented it as well.
The other lot got the yellow last week, didn't he?
Yeah. And Lavanini straight away, he thought, okay, I'm off. But then he went, oh, hang on. What did I do?
Lavanini starts walking just out of force of habit, public, just like, oh, yeah, there's a card. It must be for me. I'm walking off. Yeah, mate. Hey, one thing I always really appreciate about what you do, your pronunciation is impeccable. Like, of all the players, it's like across the board. Like, I'm like struggling with like Malcolm Marx. I'm like, Malcolm, I can't say basic words, but you're like, oh, man, you say Franz Malhelber, and I'm like, whoa, holy crap, this guy knows how to say the words. Yeah, and like all the players in the Argentinian team, it's pretty impressive. Do you spend a lot of time doing prep on that? You must.
A little bit. My tongue luckily moves in the right directions.
Lucky for your missus, buddy. That's great.
Yeah. Single at the moment. You don't find a missus when you're up all night doing live streams.
Hey mate, you'll get there.
Yeah, I think it's the rolling of the R's. Can you roll your R's?
Like kia ora, I can roll it like a.
Yeah.
This would be a very strange time for someone to join this live stream while we're just sitting here going at each other. Like, What the? Oh, this is odd.
Mm.
This is odd.
But yeah, it seems to be you can never have too much tongue roll. That's pretty much my tactic. If you don't know how to pronounce something, just tongue roll a bit longer.
I think that could be your first album. Yeah, Hamish, Kiwi Lads. You can never have too much tongue roll. Yeah.
Bit of
And then
merch.
first track, tongue in the right direction. You know, there would be some good stuff. Quality
There you
content.
go, eh? Album coming soon.
Yeah.
And also, we have got there in the chat a little bit earlier on. Someone asked about your washing in the background. I did see.
Where's my? Oh, this is just a robe. There you go.
Was that the after All Black celebration robe? Was it?
Yeah, I have an after All Black celebration robe. I haven't been able to wear it much this year. You know, like I've had to wear my after All Blacks morning robe for most of the games this year. Yeah.
Yes.
Have you got the guitar out today?
I have still got the guitar down here. Yes.
Should we have a jam, dude? Should we have a jam?
Do you have a guitar too? Do you? You better not show me up.
What?
You never come back.
we can jam.
I know. Happy birthday. Is it your birthday?
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Turning 69 today.
Oh, that sounds terrible.
Yes. Woo! Yeah.
There you go, eh?
Hey, that was great. Beautiful. Lovely.
I feel like I'm with my guitar teacher at the moment. Doing
So
a
this is
Zoom
C,
call.
And then we're going to play a G. Then we're going to go. No, that was beautiful, man. I thought it was great. Maybe you could tune your guitar though. That would be nice.
Yeah, I should. It does not sound great at the moment.
No, it sounded fine. Your technique was good. I liked it. And I felt very festive. I felt very festive as you were doing it. Even though I lied. It wasn't my birthday. I was just tricking you. But I still got the happy birthday song. So how about that?
Yes, I always ask the chat if it's their birthday, and someone, even though it's also like you, it's not, but someone will go, "Yep, it is." So then
it comes out. So it's a running gag on the Kiwi Lads channel.
It is. Same with the suit.
Love it.
Someone said that we were both dressed very professional for this.
We're a couple of monetized YouTubers who are very professional. We really are. Yeah,
exactly right.
We knock it out of the park. No, yeah, I always know that. Hamish has got a suit on. It's a big game. It's a big game. You know. It's like it used to be like if Channel 9, when Ray Warren was calling your game, it was going to be a big game in the league. It's a similar thing to if Hamish from Kiwi Lads is wearing a suit. That's what all the players talk about. They're like, is Hamish wearing a suit for this game? Oh, if he is, it's a big one.
It's a party atmosphere, isn't it? Have you noticed that the gap in between Australian games is always so much longer than every other game?
There's a lot of palaver. They seem to get a lot of more access. They're inside. They're interviewing players as they're coming off, going on. They're in the sheds. They're changing someone's jockstrap. It's pretty intense. I feel like I like the access, but it maybe it goes a little bit too far. I don't know. Who for you are your favorite? What's your favorite commentary team?
Oh, I mean, I love probably the one that I've grown up with is Nisbet.
Nisbet.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
Nisbo, yeah.
Nisbet. I love
does anyone actually call them Nisbet, or do they just say Nisbo?
Nisbet. Sorry, I just enjoyed the way you said that. Yeah, Nisbet. Yeah, he's pretty good.
Who else?
Yeah, I think there's.
I enjoy Smith from the cricket side of things when he comes over.
Yeah, he's quality. That was a huge heartbreak. That loss of the at Lords at the what was it 2019 World Cup. That was hard, but he did that. The calling that he did was just masterful. Of that was just beautiful calling. You'd be too young to remember Keith Quinn. He was kind of the Nisbo before the Nisbo.
I see a comment.
What's the? After hearing that, I'm going to connect my jumper leads, my nipples from my generator and rev it up to ease my pain. You are a sadist, David the Mod. Holy, what? It's an interesting comment.
But I have been. My uncle normally says that I'm like Keith Quinn 2.0. But I don't know whether or not that's just because he's being, generous? Or...
No, I would not be blowing smoke up your ass. If you weren't good, I wouldn't say anything. But you're a very, very good caller of the game. You really are. Like, freaking 2 cents. He came around for a coffee the other day, and we were chatting about you, and we were like, he's literally very, very talented. Like, you've got a skill there. You're shitty at everything else in life, I'm sure, but you're a very good commentator. Yeah, guitar needs a little bit of work, but you got some skills, man. I hope you can take it as far as you possibly can. You definitely got talent. Agree with me in the chat. Do people agree with me in the chat? Has he got talent?
Marco Vunapolo said no, he's an Aucklander.
Oh, I'm an Aucklander. You're a Cantab, aren't you?
I am, yes. South Canterbury. Is it sunny up there? It looks all right, doesn't it?
Sun is coming up. We're out here on the Te Atatu Peninsula. Got the ocean just out there. So that's all right.
Nice.
Yeah,
lovely.
Yeah. So it's a little bit overcast, but it's a weird sort of buzz when you've been up for most of the night and the sun starts coming up. It kind of feels like it's intruding on your life. Like I'm not quite ready for that. You've done a lot of all-nighters over the past couple of months. Oh, geez, Louise.
I was going to say they're about to get back underway, aren't they? You want to come back for a post-match chat, mate?
Sure. Why not?
Asleep by then?
I'll come on for a fiver at the end, and probably be a manic half to go.
Oh well, score prediction for the end of this game before we get underway.
Oh, so hard to predict with these guys. I think the Argentinians are going to hold it, but they're going to do everything they can to lose. So Argentina by 3.
All righty. Well, we will see you in 40 minutes' time.
See you, champ.
See you later. Right, we will go like this, and we will go like that as well. There we go. We are all sorted, ladies and gentlemen. The second half underway. Argentina sitting on 26. Australia sitting on the 10. Pose nude, says Spider Mick, and day drinking the naughty kind, says Gareth. And there is our nice view. Shows off Distracted Sports. And Hamish has found his calling. He's a natural-born sports commentator for sure. And also, I hope Australia comes back with some comeback. That's the thing. Australia are not out of this contest. Like someone mentioned earlier on, there's a good chance that we do see an Australian comeback coming up in the second half. As long as Argentina, are you using StreamYard? I am indeed. It is our live streaming software. I always find it very easy to add people in and out and whatnot on it, just because you flick them an email, all of a sudden they're there. And also, yes, agreed, Katie, says Nathan. And Australia will score more this half than last, but Australia or Argentina will hold on, assuming Argentina go without getting carded, says Nicholas. That's probably the biggest challenge of the day, whether or not they will find themselves another yellow card. But now it's going to be nicely stolen by Australia, but Fraser McWright, he did it illegally. And that will now be the penalty to Argentina. I'm still stunned by the Manchester United 4-0 loss. Here is yet another upset. Yeah, that was huge, wasn't it? Manchester United losing to, was it Fulham? Was it Fulham? Because I know that Fulham also, didn't they draw with Liverpool? So Fulham might be the goods this year. And Mark and Anthony having coffee on an opposite combo. And there says Gareth, I feel like all of the other fellas are up in Auckland, aren't they? I feel like I'm missing out being in South Canterbury. But it's all right here. Not too bad. And 2 cents gave you, Hamish, a casual 5K subs. We have 50K, that's heap. Or can give you, Hamish, casual 5K subs. Imagine Distract Sport, Haka Time Rugby, and Rugby Itch all in the stream. Meanest New Zealand foursome, says Nathan. I mean, if Rugby Itch is finished in his canoe, we could get him in. I don't know how far away your canoeing is from your house, Rugby Itch. Brentford were the team that were able to beat them. They lost to Brentford. Says Paul, how are Brentford doing so far? Who did they play in their first round? Do let me know. And come on, ref, stop interfering, let the game flow. Argentina currently hanging on to this ball about 30 metres out. It's going to be another advantage. Oh, Marcos Crema, you can't dive in like that. And it's become a reversal with a penalty. Oh, that was a bit silly from Marcos Crema. They had the penalty advantage. Then Crema goes flying in, straight in there off his feet, and did end up reversing it. And Vamos Argentina. I guess Man U manager should go. He thinks he is God. It was Brentford, Hamish, says Richard. Now James O'Connor, he will kick that one into touch, get him plenty of distance on it, making sure he does find the touchline. That's the last thing you want in these conditions is to keep the ball in the field of play. Both of these sides had a frantic first half. We saw a huge amount of tries scored. Hi, Amish, thanks for your commentary. I like your previous friend more. This guy looks like a busker in there as well, says Michael Roberts. So that is Distracted Sports. If you guys don't know his channel already, he does post, I guess you could call it analysis slash reviews of past events. Like he did the 10 biggest grubs. One of the Argentinian players who are in this side managed to make the list. Christian Eriksen played for Brentford last season, and now he's with Man United. He wishes he stayed with Brentford now. Argentina will win if they stop doing stupid stuff, says Ruan, and Rogerio Montoya and James Slipper are the damn people, or the Dame people, or the same people, sorry, says the Big V8 show. But I don't know what to do. So here's a 10A there. So I guess your options, you could watch the highlights of South Africa versus the All Blacks, although if you go for South Africa, that might be quite a hard one to watch. So maybe watch the highlights of last week's game between South Africa and New Zealand. Might be a good option. And I know we aren't idiots, so cross the line and mention people's mothers. Anyway, now it's going to be a nice run from Rob Valentini. Finds the offload. I think that ball could have been dropped. I don't know if that's down. I think they're going to have to go upstairs. You're all Auckland, bro, big city boys. Here's Waimiri Hamish. I like that, bro. You're a legend. Says Marco Vanapola and sings hopelessly devoted to you, says Nuzzy Williams. And that one as well. But they might have another try-saving tackle made in this one. Right. They need to go upstairs to Marius Lowe, I believe is in charge of the TMO for this game. Okay. If not, the actions of Blue 9 are not allowed. So I believe they will be Gonzalo Bertrano, who has ended up giving it away some sort of penalty. Where is he? There he is. He makes the tackle. Okay, the ball has been knocked out of his hands. I don't see that as a clear grounding. Bertrano got that pretty cleanly, but the question is, did he get back to his feet with a clear release? They are saying there's a chance of a penalty try here because Gonzalo Bertrano was right on the ball. Just so I want to know where I can see it for free, says Dorito. If you are in Australia, you could sign up for a Stan Sports subscription. It is a 7-day free trial that you do get. So you go with that. And the guys asked me to retype it after I deleted it. Keep up. Says, also massive shout out to Master Mel, wherever you are, my guy. Says it was from Nathan. Okay. The balls. Okay, it was taken in by Australia. Then it's going to be stolen by Argentina. So because he's in the in-goal area, if he was short of the line, it would have counted more than likely as a penalty try. But because he's inside of that in-goal area, it does mean that it becomes a goal line dropout. That is massive for Australia. Okay. James Slipper said that's pretty cynical, but they said, it's all right. And I like to say, buenos dias to my sis in love you, sis, says Spider Meg. But the goal line dropout for Argentina, a little bit of a reprieve from that extra bit of pressure that we did see from the Australians. I almost spilled my beverage. That would have been a sad day. Also probably quite a wet one. And now a nice run from Corambetti. 30 metres out from the line, Australia back to Slipper. White links up with Tom Wright, who has a nice carry forward going over the top of Gonzalo Bertrano. Now back across to Jed Holloway, the Waratahs number 6. Although he has been playing pretty much anywhere that the Waratahs need him to. He had a brilliant start to Super Rugby Pacific. He was playing in the lock-in jersey. Now Valentini off to big Tongan Thor. Daniela Tupou almost able to get that cannonball momentum. Rolling forward, back to O'Connor. JOC tries to sell the dummy and tries to go through the gap. Now White back across now into the hands of Lalakai Foketi. Just short. Pablo Matera went for the turnover. He asked for the penalty, but he didn't have his hands on the ball for long enough. Now it's a loose ball. It's kicked downfield from Argentina. It goes into touch, and it will be a line out from 15 metres out for the Australians, and also double hidden in there as well, says Sebastian. And where's the fantasy, says David? believe it or not, I haven't had a huge amount of Fanta in I'd say the last few months. Now, I won't lie to you, ladies and gentlemen. I had a Sprite the other day, but that was a bit of a treat. And also, it's kind of cool how see-through it is. I can put a hole in my head. Look, it's hurting. On your mods, real quick there, says Mike. And also, we have got there, shut up and transmit the game. Currently, we're waiting for the scrum. Finish going down. Unless you're talking about me completely shutting up and just showing the match footage. In that case, I can't. Sorry. Marcos Crema going to be taken off there. And come on, Tupo. Are you a man or a mouse? Here's Bodomik. 46.5 minutes through, 10 metres out from the line. Argentina, they will be under a lot of pressure here as the Australians have got themselves a scrum feed. How many bubbles of rapid application have you chugged? I have been chugged by people in chat today, says Katie Dixon. I'll say it's a fair bit overall, but that's all right. At the end of the day, they do put do not drink just as a little bit of a warning, but you don't listen to that. I should disclaim that I don't advocate drinking things that say do not drink, because or else then I get in trouble. He does not understand the world in which he exists, says Nicholas. My mum's a saint, and there says I'm nutty. Now the ball's been fed in. Looks like Valentini's considering going off the back of the scrum, although Nick White now may consider just picking that up. That's a brilliant push from Argentina, and they've been able to turn it over at scrum time as well. That is sensational. Or do they? It's just stuck under there. Everyone was trying to bend over to be able to reach down and pick the ball up. In the end, Australia keep it. Jed Holloway now 5 metres out from the line, and it looks like once again they're going to have a dangerous opportunity here on attack. James Slipper already scored the 1 try for the Australians so far throughout the half. Now, Ikitau tries to spin off to Marika Corumbetti. Good tackle made on him by the Argentines. They've been able to drive him backwards. It's another turnover in favour of Argentina, and also no game for you, haha. And also we have got F6 Nutty pipe down. Focus on the game. Says it was Sebastian there, but now it's going to be the scrum feed. Favour of Argentina. They have had some brilliant defence throughout this matchup. There has also been some poor moments for both of them as well. Now Nick White gave it off to Len Ikitau, who got taken down by Emiliano Boffelli. That second wrong, trying to bend over and reach the ball. Or that sounded wrong, trying to bend over and reach the ball. I realise now that it did sound a bit weird, didn't it? I was about to chill my guy in there as well. And yes, you are, says Mike. Right, Gonzalo Bertrano. They have got the option of Thomas Kubeli. They will be able to use later on. He is a Western Force representative, or he was back in the day until he decided to go overseas. Someone else who isn't there for this game, Santiago Mirano, would have been a nice one to watch. That's going to be the penalty advantage now. Favour of Argentina trying to go short side. There wasn't a lot of space at all. Emiliano Boffelli able to kick it downfield, and they will be now going back. How are you feeling, Hamish, after that win, says Carl? I think I'm feeling all right. I think even if New Zealand had lost that game, I feel about the same, because by the point of the game finishing, I had been up for about 16 hours. So my eyes, no matter what, I think we're going to be a little bit heavy, but they're not too bad at the moment. I've got to try and decide whether or not I'm staying up for the day now, or whether I'm sleeping and then waking up, because I think George wants to come round and he wants to go to KFC, which is a nice breakfast once you do sleep for a little bit. But it was a good push initially from Argentina. Thomas Gallo using that size, and Nahul Titas Chaparro already come off the bench. Nicely retained. Julian Montoya, his foot was in touch though. I feel like it's a confidence boost for New Zealand. Step in the right direction. I might leave my tea bag in today, says Obi. Interesting. We actually, back at school, people used to put, they put a tea bag in their drink or something, and they'd just have, cold tea for the whole day. And I never got into that. I once had 2-minute noodles in one of those bottles, and I felt like a gangster, because I was like, hang on, I just got to go get some hot water for my 2-minute noodles. They were never great, because they didn't quite get it heated enough. And also, there would be stronger leaving tea bags in it, Says, oh, sorry, that was actually Nathan. Now Len Ikatel trying to go forward. And what for brickies this morning? Oh, I might try Weet-Bix. We've got some milk in there, like actually a decent amount. All right, Lonergan, nice run. Gonzalo Berrano drags him down. Australia currently looking to get towards that 22. Teni Alatupo, nice run this time. I think we won Go Boomers greeting from Argentina. And do you know any free streaming? Depending on what country you're in, you have got Flow Rugby or Stand Sport if you are in the right place in the world. If not, then your next option is probably having a VPN. But unfortunately, it will cost you a little bit of money. How many red cards have been issued for Lavanini so far today? No, he hasn't given away too many penalties, I don't think. The scariest he's been is he almost started a punch up with one of his own teammates when he scored the try. And also, George said how gets the... or he gets the from Wicked Wings, mate. He does. Or he has told me that many times. I don't actually know firsthand. But, like, the thing is, they are spicy, you know? And going to KFC for breakfast beats sleeping, says David Mead. Although it is like he finishes work in 10 hours' time. Right. So, like, do I have 10 hours left in my system? By then, I would have been up. Oh, no. I would have been up for 30 hours. And 4 reds, I think, says Francisco, and Flow Rugby is anything but free Amish. They are some greedy bastards, says Sebastian. And New Zealand have a rough few days at the office. That's all. They need a couple young promising forwards, though. And also Tongan Torpedo. Emiliano Boffelli, who was very happy with the way that Argentina have been going throughout this contest. They seem like they've got a little bit more passion out there. And, yeah, I don't think Flow Rugby is free. They want your blood in your bones. And there says Katie Dixon. And Pumas should play with a couple of foreigners like everybody else, says Dogo Argentina. And, okay, I may see you all in around 6 months. I'll miss you. Enjoy the rest of the Rugby Championship and Rugby 7. See you all around December or January as well, says Richard. Yeah, stay safe. Be sure to look after yourself. And I guess we will see you around the new year. Emiliano Boffelli. That wasn't how to say his name. Emiliano Boffelli. He's got long legs. Either that or just very short shorts. I think it's the second one. But then saying that, when you've got plenty of kicking distance, as we learned from me wearing shorts, trying to kick the ball over, it gives you a lot more freedom. Although you wouldn't think it from the way that I struck the ball. Having a look up at the post, Emiliano Boffelli. And that one's gone over. So the first points of the second half. And it will make the score 29 points to 10. Pumas don't need outsiders. Dang, see you then, brother. We'll be well always in the Pumas. Oh, no, I read that one. And also we have got there, Argentina. True, says David. 54 minutes gone, 29 points to 10. Hamish, when will you be on Rumble? It's more free speech friendly. I mean, free speech, like, I probably don't need too much of it because I just talk rugby pretty much. Like, I feel like I can talk rugby no matter how PG or how non-PG, like, a site is type thing. Like, I could talk rugby on the old X-rated sites, if you know what I'm saying, and I'd still probably be PG on there, and everyone would be like, why are you here? This is the wrong thing. Pretty much like when people ask for me to show the game. And also, thank you very much, Trent. Hugely appreciate it. He's got to love the suit there. And yeah, we have been wearing it all day. Well, not quite all day, but since we did start live streaming at about 11:30, nice run forward now for the number 23. Actually out on there for Lucio Cinti. That's going to be the knock on. Now, Cinti, we have seen him in the 7s. What's Rumble on has been good. And also good to see the midweek live streams, Hamish. I really like them. Or good to see the midweek live streams. I really like them during COVID. So we will have to try and get them up and going again, even if it is George comes around here and we just play a game for a couple hours, whether it's UFC or anything like that. And my 3-point prediction is looking unlikely, says Distracted Sports. Don't worry, still 25 minutes left. There's still time for Argentina to have a couple more blunders, of course. And you can be on both, and I can rumble rant you. You can rumble rant me. I see. Oh, I should mention, ladies and gentlemen, Kiwi Lads Sport Channel, we have actually got a video coming out on there at 8 p.m. tonight. So in 12 hours' time, it will be a UFC video that me and George filmed on USC 4. Do you watch Rumble in the Jungle? I have not seen that. I am actually very bad when it comes to watching TV series and movies. I'm a bit of a novice. I haven't watched The Hobbit or Lord of the Rings, and I'm from New Zealand, which I feel like I am still slightly embarrassed about. Hi, says Amelia. Welcome in. Hope you're doing well. Who won Wii Sports last week? Says, I'm nutty. That is a good question. We have actually got that video coming up in the next couple of weeks on the channel as well. Now, nice pass. It's going to be nicely done by Pataya, but he's given it straight back to Argentina. That is a mistake that they couldn't afford. Now, trying to go forward. That's a good shot from Taniela Tupou. He's tried to rearrange Lavanini's organs. Now, into the pocket. Drop kick. Oh, that's about as good as my drop kick, but his one was charged down. Is the difference now? Tate McDermott has to kick it downfield for Argentina. Now, Juan Cruz Mali. Oh, my God. I think he is broken. He's really broken because Marika Corambetti just turned him inside out. He kind of did a charge. He did a charge to his knees. And also, he didn't see a lot of the rings. How dare you, cited. And then the midweek streams are always, well done. Quality of gaming is another story, says David. And there is on. It's basically a mixture of the two, says Gareth. But currently it's still in the hands of Argentina looking for the kick in behind. That was a massive shot from Marika Corambetti earlier on, though. Now, close to the touchline, James O'Connor. He's done brilliantly. I got like 10 rugby jerseys from my mate for my birthday. Says Amelia there. It's going to be a turnover. Julio Montoya got this one. Someone's wearing a nice white beanie. We can tell because they're in the way of the camera at the moment. Now Thomas Gallo trying to make his way over the line. Think Pataya go well in the NRL. I think he almost, was he in the NRL initially? Was he the one who transferred over from NRL? Or was it someone else? I know that Suliasi Vunivalu was one. And don't they teach the Lord of the Rings at Kiwi schools? No, we watch Kicking and Screaming with Will Ferrell in it. And also Cool Runnings. We watched that movie. And then Saving Private Ryan. I'm not too sure what the logic was behind that. But we had to. Well, that one. But Marika, boy, he got the ankles. And the shins and the knees. Turned him upside down as well. So they might be checking this one. A nice 2-week break now from rugby. Much needed, says Carl. Definitely with the URC coming up, although we will be covering a bit of the Bunnings NBC next week and also maybe a little bit of cricket, something like that, to fill in a couple weeks, or maybe just some gaming for the weekend if that is something you guys want to see. If you watch Demolition Ranch, they all started to post a lot more on there because there's less strict to Saving Private Ryan. That's a history lesson for sure. Although I think we watched it for English. Maybe. I think it might have actually, now that I think about it, I think it was to do with Spielberg and the different shots that like he does use. So like kind of the skill of the camera work. I guess the directing. And Nick White's mother loves him, says Dr. Wheatcross. That's lucky. I know that his wife likes him very much too, I would think. And there's 5, Ryan Hamish. Did you play Bull Rush at school? I did. We did play it on the sand. So everyone always got sand where they didn't want sand. And Cool Runnings, Wallabies forgot to kiss the lucky egg, says Mike. And if they score, or if the score stays like this, or stays like this, we end up top of the log after round 2. And did you watch Rango, Hamish? That's the one with the lizard, isn't it? Rango, is that the lizard one? But I have not seen it, sadly. And also, we saw Saving Ryan's Privates, but I think it was a different thing cited. I saw Shaving Ryan's Privates, not what I expected. And I hardly watch series too much trading, investing, but when I get a chance, we'll check it out. Says Carl Peterson, let's go Argentina, call a running Sunker. Now back into the pocket, James O'Connor kicks it downfield. 22 minutes left in this contest, still 19 points difference between these two Southern Hemisphere sides. Gone back infield, Lucio Cinti gives it a bit of height. Emiliano Boffelli tries to line it up. He's taken it beautifully. And James O'Connor's getting it straight on the breakdown. Same with Pete Samu. They've got the advantage now. Favor of the Wallabies. Pone Fa'amasili. He's a tough man to stop, and he has been dragged down. Or really just chopped down like he's some sort of tree. Down to the 22 now. Nicely controlled by Santiago Carreras. Takes it outside of his 22. Kicks it back down the middle of the field. Trying to play that territory game with the Wallabies. James O'Connor decides that he will once again get involved in the territory battle. Now 22 meters out. Argentina, they're going to kick it. I feel like this is going to become very repetitive. That's a nice kick downfield. James O'Connor keeps it in the field of play. You'll never guess what's going to happen next. Tom Wright decides to run it. Okay, we're having something a little bit different there. Thought it was just going to be kick after kick, and Hamish should stream some games. I got some good games coming up. And there says Carl Peterson. I never saw cool runnings, but I did see warm walking, says Cited. And come on, Aussie. And let's go Higuares. And also, each team having one win will be strange. Here's JP. But I guess it just shows how even the competition could be in the later stages of it, as it is a 6-round competition. That ball's continuing to roll and roll, but it's going to sit up in the end goal area. Great step from Juan Cruz Malia. Now tries to get around Rob Valentini. He's kicked it out on the full, but he stayed down and becomes a penalty to Argentina for taking him out. He doesn't look too flash either. He stayed flat on his back. Rob Valentini's saying, what did I do? Changing the line a little bit there. Okay. One of the commentators, once again, is not too happy. So I believe they've penalised him for changing his line. I believe, and there is a Scottish S6 rugby comment next week to comment on. I mean, if we can watch it in New Zealand, we will definitely consider all those other options, just because some of those games are quite tricky to find. Like, we didn't even get Barbarians versus England here in New Zealand, which is why I did end up getting a VPN and watching it through Stan Sport. If each team gets a win, the Argentina getting 4 tries, making it a bonus point, does it make Argentina top of the table? I believe they would be. They'd actually be relatively close there, although they are sitting currently with a points differential of, I think, -12. So I will show you guys the way the table currently sits. They will have to try and get themselves above a +15. So they would need to win this game by 15. That would take the Wallabies down. And then, yeah, from there, they'd be relatively close, to be fair, to the top of the table, which would be huge for Argentina compared with the fact that they don't normally get too much. And Barbarians versus the Quins, you mean, says Sebastian. And also, can you send a link to watch via VPN, says I'm nutty. So what we can do is, one moment. So the VPN you do have to spend money on initially is the only downside to it, but that is the link to a VPN. And then from there, once you have the VPN and set your location to Australia, then you can go on Stan Sport and start a 7-day free trial. And what's the standings, Hamish? Says Spider-Mix. So at the moment, it is Australia sitting at the top, New Zealand in second, South Africa in third, and Argentina in last. Nice pass off now. Now Juan Cruz Malia not able to go through short side now. Tita Chaparro. In fact, I think it might have been Gomez Cordella going through. There's some big boys out there for Argentina. They're using that physicality nicely. Carreras goes back. A nice chance for Juan Emoff, the man who scored the very first try of the match as a discount, says Carl Peterson there. And how much, says Lawrence in there. So depending on what plan you sign up for, you could either go for a $12 a month one, where you do just get the singular month. And then from there, you're all good. For a month, you will be able to watch Stan Sport for 7 days and then Stan for the rest of that month. You will be able to watch, and then just make sure that you do cancel them before they get to the recharging stage. But there, and that's close. That's close. Is he over? Is he not over? He is over. And Argentina get it, pretending to be an Aussie to watch this game. The sacrifice. See, Sebastian, but the crowd love that one from Argentina. Who is it? It is, oh no, it's Thomas Gallo, the man who not only did a beautiful kick into touch earlier on, but now Thomas Gallo, he's got another try. I think, is he the one last year who got a hat trick? Do let me know. Thomas Gallo. 3 penalties on 1 phase. They said in try time, says Cited. And also, where's Aussie? Says Grau. And why does the Lord of the Rings movie and what does the Lord of the Rings movie and gay bars have in common? Both have a single man looking for someone to destroy his ring. I see. That's an interesting one, isn't it? We are destroying those kangaroos. It's don't tread on me. And Thomas Gallo, he's got 2 tries in this game. He's been looking very sharp indeed. And now they are sitting. Hope Pumas finished top of the table for round 2, finished with the canoeing as well. So are you back at your house of residence that you are staying in, Rugby Itch? Do let me know. And Cry Mel Gibson, Argentina pumping, bruh. And as this biggest score Argentina ever put on the Wallabies, it's got to be right up there because they're doing brilliantly. Only 64 minutes gone, another 16 minutes left of Argentina win. It'll be a great Rugby Championship, and I can't believe you got Hamish to say that whole sentence. Well, I was intrigued. I was wondering where the joke was going. And also we have got the try, says Katie Dixon, and also we have got that come on Aussie, where's the biff? And also let's hope the Argies don't run out of gas at the end, says Aluka, but now they have got 15 minutes left. Nice one, kick downfield and deep back now and ready for the post-match review as well. Oh, so it's going to be a right party. I do enjoy a good party. I haven't been to many parties. Now that I think about it, I've been to one. Let's get 40 points, Los Pumas, says Nathan there. And also go Pumas, says Hector. But now the line-out throw will be in favour of the Australians sitting there. It is Lachlan Lonergan, who actually is going off the field now. Billy Pollard gets to replace him. So his first throw is looking straight into the sun. Not the easiest one. It's a demolition. There's RJJ. And I believe Gonzalo Burrano going off the field. And that is for Thomas Cuelli. He's making his way out their way. Is that enough to launch them into first place? At the moment, they're looking pretty good. I think that would actually put them in because all they needed was a points differential of more than 4. Everyone knows when Amoff returns, he's an unstoppable key player. And then, yeah, he's already scored himself a try in this contest in the second minute. But now Simone with a nice run. Ekatel might be a combination that they do look to in the future. Definitely if Samu Karevi does end up injured a few times. Do we have any Argentine supporters in the chat? I think we've got a few. Keep on, go Argentina, says Carlos there. And now James Slipper trying to get through. They've got to try and get something here, Australia. So at the moment, Argentina have been scoring plenty of tries. Marika Corambetti, I think it was almost stripped there. Nope, they're going to say play on just for now. Tate McDermott goes back across. Lavanini tries to hold him up. Doesn't decide to punch him, which is good news. Yes, him off. And then the final Los Pumas 43 and the Wallabies 26. My memberships ends on the 13th of September. And yeah, now McDermott goes back across. Nicely done by Rob Valentini. McDermott, nice bit of a step in the midfield. They're kind of missing Hunter by Sami Ekatel wasn't held, and he goes in, scores the try. That is one that Argentina will be pretty disappointed with because everyone kind of stood still, and he wasn't held, so he was able to get back up. Play to the whistle is the perfect example of a statement there, and Len Ekatel scores the try for the Australians. We have got there. And come on, APO mode, says King To'o, and Argentina do allow Australia in at the end almost always. This seems like it might be one of those times. Almost got the hiccups, which is unfortunate. Now, James O'Connor lining up this kick. Should be relatively straightforward. It has gone over, and now it does make the score 36 points to 17. This was a high-scoring contest, and we've still got another 15 minutes left. That was slick. Says cited in there. Yeah, Len Ekatel, he wasn't held, so he got back up to his feet, ran over, and did manage to get himself the try. And go my country, go the Pumas. Says Carlos there, and Len Ekatel pretty happy with that one. He looked back at the referee to make sure that it was a legal one that he did end up doing. And yes, here they come, Aussie, says Spider-Man. And also the final dessert is still missing. The M-off Pearl, says Martin, although he was able to get one at the start of the game. So the question is, can he get himself the double? And Augustine Crevi, I don't think we're going to get to see too much of him, but Nahul Chetas Chaparro has made his way out onto the park, and that is for Thomas Gallo. Was able to get himself the 2 tries. Lots can happen in 15 minutes. Go Argentina, says Katie Dixon. And there's an oi. Says cited that ball's been kicked high. Argentina chasing hard. It's going to be hanging in the breeze. And Valentini just takes it. Uses his sheer strength. Reece Hodge also out there on the field, I should mention, for the Australians looking for the 50-22. It might be one. It's going to be close. McDermott gets the high five. He is happy. I appreciate the commentary this week. Cheers. Have a good week. Cheers, mods. See you in 2 weeks, says Carl. So we will see you later on, mate. And thank you very much once again for tuning in to the streams. That's a good kick from McDermott. Getting it down, and now Australia have got themselves another line out. They've actually got a yellow card, though, I should mention, which is something that I didn't mention earlier on. And have a good one, brother. Here's Katie Dixon. It's going to be thrown in. Nicely taken there by Pete Samu. Valentini's had his ankles taken out. Stolen by the Pumas. Take care, Carl. Cheers for tuning in. And vamos, Argentina. And I'm off. As all that is missing in Argentina talent, says Martin. And there, but penalties conceded. We've seen 11 against the Wallabies, 8 against the Pumas throughout this fixture. Anyone who is new to the channel, though, be sure to leave a like and also subscribe. We are going to be back with plenty more of the Rugby Championship in the near future. And very good kick from the mullet, says Cited. And we are actually only 40 away from reaching 16,000 subscribers. So if you do want to help us out, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Also, leave a like on the live stream if you haven't already. 10 minutes left in this contest. And Argentina will be looking to close this out with a bonus point win, but they might need one more try soon just to be able to secure it. And who's got a try for Argentina in the second half? It was, in the end, Thomas Gallo got it in the 63rd minute. They've managed to double up, get a second arm from Argentina, or I'm from Argentina, living in Wisconsin, USA. Greetings, mate. There's Marco there, so welcome in, mate. Hope you are doing very, very well indeed. And Viva Peron. And Go Sub says at 10 and also 16K. Nice work, bro, says Distractor Sports. Yeah, we are closing in on it. Very close indeed now. We are 38 away. It's actually gone up 2 just in that time. That's going to be now a penalty going the way of Australia. My throat's getting dry from talking too much. Here we go. And also, hi, says Carter. Welcome in, mate. We're doing well. We also got a new member. I am Nutty. So I do appreciate you becoming a channel member. You will now get access to exclusive emojis and whatnot. I'm off. As all that is missing in Argentina talent is Martin. Although he is out there on the field, he did actually start the match. He's been out there for the full 70 minutes so far. Don't think they have taken him out. But now Billy Pollard, and approaching 16K subs. Congrats to the Kiwi lads, says Katie Dixon. And it is all down to you guys. At the end of the day, you are the ones who do hit that subscribe button and you do tune in, week out. You're the best, says Carter. I appreciate that. But now the rolling maul of Australia, Billy Pollard, looking to try and glide this one towards the line, although it's going more sideways than anything else. At this current point in time, Tate McDermott getting ready to recycle it, gives it off to Irasamuni, willing to muscle up with the Argentine defence, trying to find a little gap. At the end of the day, Australia, if they score one more, they're still in this contest. And now I can call Gareth. Not really. And new member 2, welcome. Says Gareth there. Argentina lost Pumas 43, Wallabies on 26. So you're saying one more try for Argentina and one more try for the Australians by the looks of it, plus a little bit of something extra. Now James O'Connor with a nice ball. They have got numbers. Ikatel tries to offload it over the top and Reece Hodges an elbow to clean it up. And Kiwi lads, should I tell Reed you say hi? I guess Reed could receive a hi from ourselves if you like. And also we have got their 20K subs soon, says at 10. Yeah, we are closing in on that 20K, which is absolutely insane because the town that I live in has 4,000 people. So the fact that we're almost 4 times the amount of people in the town, it's really weird. And 60K, imagine sitting on a terrace, all of your subscribers in view would be quite a sight, says Sebastian the Arm. Subscribe on me. And Argentina built up a lead that put all their money on Australia and give the game away. And also, we have got the commentators equal to a Gambetta Littore. I'm not too sure who that is. Wait a second, who got sent off? It was one of the Australians. I am not too sure what number it was. And what can I do with member? Pretty much you get access to exclusive emojis that you will be able to put on the chat, whether it is my face looking confused, George's face looking confused, an All Blacks one. We've also got a Springboks one that we are going to be adding back relatively soon, but 94 caps for Agustin Crevi has now just made his way out onto the field. Vamos Pumas, says Juanpe. Got in nicely at the front. And the Pumas sitting on the halfway line looking to hang on to this ball for a little bit longer. I love the Christmas. I love how the Christmas emoji is still here. It was one of the emojis was made for us by Sebastian, so I decided to keep it around even though we're in August. At the moment, we've had it ever since the Christmas period. And also, we have got all those emojis from Katie Dixon there as well. That's another one. Kieran hasn't been out and about in quite some time, but now it's going to be fired back into the pocket. Santiago Carreras gets some nice height on that one, waiting for it to come down. Geez, that almost looked like some sort of running bulldog from Reece Hodge, if anyone knows their WWE moves from back in the day. But a nice running bulldog, smack in the face on the ground. Problem is that I would have abused to a cloning machine with about 50 counts. As I see Sebastian and Vamos Pumas, says Thomas. Argentina trying to keep that one, but instead Jordan Patai has been able to take it back, but they will be going back for the initial penalty. We will go like that, and we will go like that. So to all of the individuals who will be joining a little bit later on in the live stream, and that's the list of 2. I'm going to go like this, and I'm going to go like this, and I'm going to send you both your link so that you are... Did I do that right? Yes, I did. Right. I'll send you guys the link so that you guys can join up in the next little while. I won't quite add you yet. I'll wait till after the game. But yeah, if you want to get yourselves comfy in the waiting room, it sounds like I'm some sort of doctor or receptionist. And also we have got there Los Pumas 43, Wallabies 26. It's a nice kick downfield from Argentina. Anyone who is new, be sure to hit that subscribe button. We are closing in, only 32 away now from being able to get to the 16,000. We will be back with all of Argentina's games, all of Australia's games, and also a few domestic competitions around the world in the near future. And enjoying the commentary again. Says I'm nutty and there, and I have to wait 19 days for the bronze. And then my Latino girlfriend breaking up with me if my Aussie win, says Spider Meek. What it's gonna be a tricky comeback for Australia, definitely, because currently it is another advantage in favor of Argentina, sitting 22 meters out now. Just hanging on to that one in the middle. It was a Matthias Maroni rather than getting rid of it. Now Thomas Kubeli tries to go through. He would have played alongside and against some of these guys who are in the Wallabies lineup. Ponefa Amasuli gets close to turning that one over. Nice ball up to Matthias Alemano. He's been a little bit quiet throughout this game. We haven't seen a huge amount of the Pumas. Number 4, Sinti, gets closer. Argentina closing in on a monumental victory up against the Australians. And currently they still have themselves the bonus point. A nice pass. Oh, it's going to be knocked on by Facundo Isa. And now Australia, they are going to be going back. Jordan Patai looks like he might have some sort of knee injury. That one. And Argentina 42. Australia 23, says Carter. Go Pumas. I have no choice. Sorry, Oz. And also we have got there the actor de Netflix. Is that like me as an actor? And he was worse than Amy Spencer. So can you imagine that? Says Sebastian there. And also Argentina, and 2 big turnarounds in both games. Exactly right. Both of these sides been fighting extremely hard to, I guess both of the losing sides from the first round, I should say, have been fighting extremely hard to get themselves back into it. But currently we are sitting 76.5 minutes through. I've got the Argentinian colours in the chat from Guili. So how about Thomas Gallo? I believe he is going to be crowned as the man of the match, is he? And if he isn't, it'd be very unlucky. I'm an All Blacks fan. So here's Carter there. Now scrum feed going down. What are the chances of my 3-point victory now? Let's say 2 tries from Australia put them on 31 points. So I might not be a mile off. If Australia score right now, they'll have 3 minutes to try and get themselves another one, and it's going to be a nice wide cutout pass for Marika Corumbetti. Commentator, is the Netflix actor breaking in there? No, I haven't been in any Netflix series that I know of, unless someone's been filming me and I didn't know. And also, I was around those days, I think. First time I joined was AB's losing to the Pumas. Just didn't realize there was a live chat. What's the odds for the Pumas, Hamish? Says Spider Meek. They almost. Did they get themselves another? Yes, they do. Emiliano Boffelli goes in, and he is going to be picking up his second of the day. Or in fact, his first, because his last one was cancelled out, wasn't it? But Boffelli, they know now that that is going to be the win for the Argentines. In the 78th minute, they've got themselves another. This has been a very good performance from Argentina. They've looked dangerous. And brilliant try. The commentator is a Netflix actor breaking, says Martin there. And also brilliant try. And also Vamos Los Pumas, says Alfredo. And also Vamos Pumas, says Mariano. Nicely done by Emiliano Boffelli. What a smashing, or Boffelli, sorry, I should say. And Vamos Boffelli, and lots of confidence for the Pumas. And Bok will bounce back against the Wallabies. And Dave will have it reshuffled. Have about 30 gigabytes of rugby if you want to download. Says I am nutty, and Bok will bounce back against the Wallabies. And Dave will have to reshuffle. And yes, I have to keep my babe. Are you going to be live streaming All Blacks versus Argentina? I certainly am. We are going to be doing every game of the Rugby Championship, every game of Super Rugby. The URC, we're going to be covering a majority of the competition when it does come around. So be sure, if you are new, hit that subscribe button. But currently 1 minute left in this contest. What was the halftime score? Halftime, 26 points to 10 in favour of the Argentines. I'll be less offended by this performance if the Argies do this again with New Zealand and South Africa. Says the big VHA, we won Pumas, says Carlos. And also great Argentina. Top of the table now for Argentina. Yeah, massive for them after 2 rounds. Argentina going to be top of the bunch. Emiliano Boffelli just missing that one away to the side. So it is now going to be 79 minutes through. 41 points to 17. Now, I believe, if I'm not wrong, we are going to have 2 guests that will be joining us for the post-match review of this game, ladies and gentlemen. So be sure not to go anywhere soon as we do hit full time. I do see that one of them has arrived in the little downstairs area. That sounds kind of weird. It sounds like I'm keeping them in my basement. I'm not, I swear. And RGs are looking scary, but Australia is a bit of an unknown quantity still. I wonder how Argentina will hold up against ABs and South Africa. Thank you, Katie. Says Carlos. And also we have the cry on Naomi Watts in there. And also the colours of Argentina from Guile there as well. So what we will quickly do while we have only got a couple seconds left on the clock, I believe it's going to be the scrum on halfway. Australia making a little bit of a mistake off their kickoff. So what we will do is we will quickly update our scoreboard so that we are nice and ready to go once we do reach full time. The chat is going very quick, ladies and gentlemen, so I do appreciate every single one of you for being here. I have actually put it up on the screen now, and yay, we're watching everyone live stream because I got notifications on and subscribed. Looks like it's gone down on the far side. They do need to have one more reset. Don't cry for me, don't cry for me, Australia. And Boffelli's kicks at the post are smooth as butter, says John Nettling. And also Vamos, says Nathan. A nice DG, says Dione. And well done for the Pumas, says Spider-Meg. And yeah, the crowd have really had a good game to watch, really. You've got 58 points that were scored in this game, which is absolutely huge, really. And who play for who, or who play who now. So the next round that we have got is in 2 weeks' time. New Zealand will be playing Argentina, and Australia, they will be playing South Africa. Hang on, Argentina aren't done yet. They've done the chip in behind. It's going to sit up, and it's another try for Argentina. And they didn't want to give up. They wanted one more, and they've been able to score another. And now they will win this game 48 points to 17, increasing the points differential by just a little bit more. And definitely a more entertaining game than us against the AB, says Daryl Roberts. A much higher scoring one. Boffelli is a pro, or as pro as they come, does everything asked of him on the pitch, says Nicholas. And also try. The offense, says Nicholas. It was brilliantly done. And now is going to be Argentina almost bringing up the 50 points in this game. That is a massive statement. And you still wanted me post-match, dude? 100%. Hop in at Distracted Sports. It is going to be a 3-way. It's going to be 3 of us all chilling, having a chat for the post-match review. That is if you are keen to come on as well. But I have sent the link to your email if you do want to jump in. Yeah. Thomas Gallo was very happy with the way that one went. Try, are you kidding me? I am not. Almost 50 points for the Argentines. And I believe with this kick going over, it is going to be full-time score of 48 points to 17. I don't think anyone would have predicted the score because this is Argentina by Argentina by 31 points. 31. Who does that up against the Aussies? Not many do get themselves that big of a difference, but Emiliano Boffelli about to line this one up. Vamos Los Pumas. Let's get it to Distracted Sports and Rugby Itch. Cheers, Nathan and yeah, it's a right party atmosphere currently on a Sunday morning. It's 9 a.m. Everyone is loving it. And here we go. Right. I've never had 3 people on a live stream before that I can think of. So first of all, we're going to throw a rugby itch on here. Hello, mate. How you going, bud? And then we're going to click another button. There you go. Look at that.
I'm here.
Why did we all raise our hands?
Weird. We did it. Fantastic.
This is brilliant.
Rugby itch, and I'm not getting an STD. This is awesome. And it's a 3-way. Beautiful stuff.
There you go. So, Argentina, eh? How did they do that?
Amazing.
Incredible.
Absolutely amazing.
Incredible. Full disclosure, can I be honest with you two?
You go.
Honesty time, lads. I did fall asleep for about 25 minutes in that second half, and I woke up to you going. It was an Aussie try, and I was like, "Oh, geez, stuff has happened." But I feel I caught like the last 3 tries, which all happened in the last 3 minutes, it was an incredible finish. That last chip and chase, what an awful day for Australia, which just breaks my heart. It really does.
The small face is otherwise, you know.
Yeah, it's a bad day for Australia and South Africa. Oh, it's tough.
Oh no.
Yeah,
Just
so
turn my
what
light
do
up
you
a
think
little bit.
of the second half rugby itch? You've just been canoeing. How did the canoeing go, first of all?
Yeah, no, the canoeing went well. Just went out there for roughly an hour, 45 minutes to an hour, just chill for a bit. Just while we have this good weather out. But for the second half, though, brilliant performance by Argentina. They were just fantastic, to say the least, and they really broke the Australian defense. That's really all I'm going to say, because Australia didn't actually know what to do because they kept getting penalties. As soon as Australia kept on attacking, Argentina would get 1 penalty, move up the field, get another try. As soon as Wallabies go again, Argentina get another penalty, move up again. So it was just a kind of a repeat. So fair play to Argentina, because they definitely deserve the victory.
Dominant.
Yeah.
And now sitting top of the Rugby Championship.
I'm so happy.
2
That's the
rounds.
one thing I wanted to say the most. Yes. Come on, Pumas.
Who would have thunk it? Oh my gosh.
It's unbelievable.
Rugby itch, when are we going to see Hong Kong come into the Rugby Championship? Because I know that's who you really pull for. When are we going to get them?
I mean, it's going to be a while before Hong Kong maybe get into there. But you never know. Maybe with a bit of money, they're able to kind of sway, the Rugby Championship.
Yes.
Like, you know what? Hong Kong is, the Asian market. Maybe that's who they target next. But no, I think Hong Kong's duty is really just their aim is to get into the Rugby World Cup. So we'll have to wait until, I believe, November, if I'm not mistaken, for the Rugby tournaments, which they'll face Kenya, Portugal, and the United States in Dubai. So
you are a walking rugby dictionary, rugby itch.
Oh, I am. Trust me.
Did your parents name you Rugby Itch? Is that,
no. But funny enough, actually, I actually didn't come up with the name Rugby Itch. It was my dad who came up with it, because it was one of those where I don't know why, but I wanted to kind of make my name stand out in a sense, and I always said that, like, I wanted to always have rugby in the title, because I feel like that kind of asserts that you're a rugby channel. But it was just terms of, like, how do I kind of associate myself in terms of the rugby community? And I thought Rugby Itch, because I have an itch for rugby, and it's something that I have to deal with, and I have to voice my opinion. So but I love your content, by the way. Just want to put that out there before we get into the whole review of this game. But I love the content, and I really love I love your banter as well. Love your banter. It's like, it cracks me up all the time. So yeah,
thanks, buddy. Appreciate that. No, thank you. I appreciate it. And I was saying to Hamish before we had a chat at halftime, it was like, I watch you guys chat, and I watch Haka Time, and I watch the Rugby Analyst and 2 Cents, and I'm always like, how do these guys keep so much in their heads? Like, I'm literally just there's just a gerbil inside my brain going, remember Christian Cullen in 96? And that's all I've got. That's all my rugby knowledge. It's just, that's all I can keep.
I love that. But I love that period of time as well. Like, for me, I like to think that I have a good rugby knowledge in terms of where I know a lot from the past as well. Because, like, my dad is essentially, like, told me everything. So, like, he's told me so much about rugby. And I mean, so, like, I like to think I have knowledge in terms of in the past. So I know exactly what you're on about in terms of Christian Cullen. Like, he was, in my opinion, he was arguably the best 10 New Zealand's ever had, arguably. But of course, there's one person that kind of stands in the way, I'd say, with Dan Carter, because Dan Carter is another animal. But you never know.
Can you see that me and we're both doing this? He was a very good player, and he probably could have played 10 because he had all the skill.
Yeah.
But he was a
15.
Sorry, he was an amazing 15. This is no word of a lie. For the last 20 years or so, like whenever I feel like just a little bit off color, not feeling happy, feeling a little bit blue, I put on Christian Cullen highlights. Honestly, it's like he's just a freak, an absolute freak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm the same with you, but I choose Brian Habana. That's the one I always tend to watch mostly because I just love the tries that he has. Like the one I said the most with in my live streams is where like he scores one against the Wallabies in the Tri Nations, where he's just holding the ball like this and his head is just moving down the left wing, and it's just incredible because no one's able to keep up with him, and it's just I love the guy. So yeah, that's who I tend to watch when I just want to watch someone on rugby. But
Hamish, are you able to give us what's your name, Rugby Edge? I can't keep calling you Rugby
Tim.
Edge. Tim, can you give Tim doing this? That was good.
Somebody get that.
I've noticed as well, Sebastian is working tirelessly getting all your links in the description.
Yeah, mate, Sebastian.
Chat as well. He's always hard working, Sebastian.
No,
good work there,
big
mate.
props to Sebastian, mate. I always tend to see, like, whenever we're obviously on this channel, that Sebastian does the good work. So, cheers, man, for that.
You're a legend, Sebastian. I've always admired you from afar. I've heard your scent is pungent but powerfully attractive, Sebastian. There we go. Is that a good shout out for Seb?
Tim, we finally get a name.
Exactly.
Because I guess I just got used to knowing your name. I guess you could say.
The thing is that
it was Tim.
Yeah, I think when it comes towards the rugby community, I've always just said that, like, look, if you guys want to know me on more of a personal level, I always like link my my Instagram on like the top of my YouTube channel, and that's where I literally let anyone text me. Like I've had, I think, 10 of my subscribers just go on my Instagram and just say like, hey, just love the content, keep it up, or they just have like a little dialogue with me just about their thoughts on a game. So I always keep that that Instagram open just for anyone who just wants to talk. It's it's all good in that sense. But for anyone who didn't know my name, it is Tim. So that's my real name besides Rugby Itch. So yeah.
And while we're at it, we might as well ask the question: where are you from, Tim? Because no one really knows either.
Yeah, trust me. This is like essentially,
you need to wear a shirt that just has all the information.
I've said this before in the past, but what I have to do is just get a business card. And my friends said that they're going to get this for me when I have my wedding in the future, if I ever when I do eventually get married. And that it's a long time.
I believe you will.
Long-term plan, but they said that the gift they'll give me is like a business card, which just explains where I'm from, because it's the simplest thing where I could just hand out to people, like, yeah, so this is who I am and all that jazz. But like I this is what I'm about to say here, guys. I've probably said 1,000 times to everyone because I've memorized it that much. So I was born and raised in Hong Kong. My mom's American. My dad is from Zimbabwe, and I have an American and an Irish passport. So I'm from a lot of places. So yeah, my allegiance within rugby is to the Auckland Blues. That's the reason for that is because we're good friends with some of the All Blacks, and Ali Williams was one of the All Blacks, which we've come to know through. He's just a great guy when you meet him in real life, and at the time he was the captain for the All Blacks, I believe, in 2011. And that's one of the first rugby matches I ever watched. Actually, it was the Super Rugby semi-final for Reds versus Blues. Unfortunately, the Blues lost that game.
The Blues, did you mean he was the captain for the Blues in that game? Okay.
Yeah. And then since then, I've supported the Blues. So trust me when I say I've supported the Blues through the dark times, and I've seen them rise. So I'm a loyal supporter. And of course, when it comes towards international rugby, I do support the Springboks due to my family. Based within Africa and also South Africa.
We've all got our faults, mate. We've all got our faults.
Exactly. Yeah. It's understandable.
Absolutely. Good to hear you're a Blues fan. I'm from Auckland, so yeah, definitely a Blues fan.
Perfect. That makes us all good then.
Yeah, the first ever team I supported way back in the day for the franchises was the Chiefs. Because believe it or not, way back in the day, North Harbour, which is my province, they were aligned with Waikato somehow. So all like the players like Frank Barnes and Walter Little played for, and Glenn Osborne, these players, they played for the Waikato province. And so for the first couple of years, the North Harbour was part of that franchise, and then come the late 90s, they switched over. It was weird. I'm great. You guys just need an old person around to tell you about stuff that happened 30 years ago. That's what everybody wants to know.
Oh, it's brilliant. I love it.
I love it. I teacher earlier.
Exactly. By the way, you guys should definitely start a guitar band. I could definitely see that being a duo maybe. You have like a little session at halftime every time.
Happy birthday specialists. That's what
exactly.
Yeah,
that's the
there you go.
Well, I have a fun fact. Which is this whole time I had the stats loading, but they still haven't loaded. So it's just showing, that little circle that goes around like that.
Yep.
I think the main stat. I think the main stat that we're all pretty happy about is the Aussies got pumped. Okay, and there's whichever way you cut it, they got they got a big heap of steaming Argentinian meat pumped right into them. They really they took it, and it was a beautiful thing to see. This is probably one of the most significant victories in Argentina's rugby history. Have they ever had a victory like this in the Rugby Championship, like where they looked this dominant? And I'll be nervous about playing them as an All Black team when we play them in a couple of weeks. And for the most part, I've always kind of written them off, but they're just one of those teams that have just kept on the build, and now they're legitimate contenders. It's pretty impressive.
Yeah,
I see.
Couldn't agree more.
Has put there any chance you could get Mark on and do a show like the breakdown style? That would be massive. Eh?
I'll get
maybe
Mr. 2 Cents.
Yeah,
breakdown
2.0.
Yeah, well, me and Mark, because Mark doesn't live that far away, we're actually thinking about my downstairs where I shoot. We're going to maybe do a little bit of podcasting down there, actually in person. But yeah, we could do something like this.
That's
It'd be
cool.
fun.
I guess we'd have to decide who's going to be the Justin Marshall of the group or the Jeff Wilson. I have a bone to pick with Weet-Bix.
His love for Weet-Bix.
Bloody stat attack cards, right?
Yeah.
Stat attack. Yeah, got him.
Yep. Finley Christie, Hoskins Tutu, TJ Perinara, Angus Tarvell. Got those 4 in the pack, all right?
Congratulations.
Great.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Players.
Second pack, I got Finley Christie,
Double Ginger,
Hoskins Tutu,
double bleach,
Angus Tarvell.
all right.
So all 3 double ups, and then they gave me Justin Marshall as well. But they didn't have any. The site can't be reached. It's finally decided that I can't get onto the stats.
It's not a mathematic, but that could just be what happened, Hamish. Are you calling it a conspiracy? Are you saying?
It's definitely a conspiracy.
I've said that there's 5,000 Richie McCaws out there somewhere, but I've got about 5,000 Scott Barretts, so I don't know.
It's good to get Doggerel Barrett. He's underrated.
He does well in the
brothers.
stat department when they're like, who's your height? He can only eat 6 Weet-Bix though, which I think is a little bit disappointing.
What? How did you go with your Weet-Bix the other day? I saw that you got, when your Rugby Itch stream the other day, you were saying, I'm off to go eat my Weet-Bix. And I was like, that's the most South Island thing I've ever heard in my life. But how'd you get lack of milk?
It was, yeah. Sadly, when you think you've got milk, but you don't have milk. Like, I had I'd say
like that much.
about, it wasn't even I'd say about 50 mils of milk. So I could only do the 2 Weet-Bix, and even that was a stretch. I had to rotate the bowl just to try and suck it up.
You wasn't able to beat Ian Foster's record of 6 Weet-Bix.
I hear what you're saying though. There's nothing more unsatisfying than not having milk, especially it's a real heartbreaking situation in my life happens sometimes. I love a cup of tea. Go to make a cup of tea. It's in there brewing. I'm like, yeah, it's brewed the right amount of time, looking good, looking golden. Go get the milk, and there's no milk, and then The absolute deflation I feel in my heart when I'm ready for a cup of tea and it's just not going to happen. Like, I'm not a straight tea kind of man. I need a little bit of milk. That's heartbreaking stuff. That's heartbreaking stuff, and that has nothing to do with rugby, people. That's just
no, it doesn't. Take. But the question I have is, what do you do? Do you shoot away and get some milk, or do you like just leave it for a bit?
No, I go, darling, we have no milk. And then she goes, why don't you get some? And then I go, what you are? And then we have an argument. And then she says, this isn't working out, Tony. I have to leave. And I say, don't, please stay with me. And then she's out the door with her bags and stuff. And we have an argument on the street. And then we come back inside. So that's how it plays out. But it's pretty casual.
Okay. Fair enough. When she's like out and about, you're like, well, when you come home, can you just bring home some milk?
Exactly.
That's what started the whole thing.
Well, if you're out, while you're out, would you mind picking up a cup of tea?
Just get it from me if you can.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Nonetheless, I assume we've got some pretty tired eyelids, boys? Seeing as you did have a nap, are you going to be awake for the rest of the day, mate, or are you going to be snoozing?
Well, I have to parent at some stage. So that's going to be fun. I'm a very, very active parent.
That's good.
But that won't be until later in the day. That'll be at 2:00. So, I might have a kip, I'd say, just maybe for like an hour or two, I'd say, just to sort of recharge the batteries. I'm not going to go to sleep for like 6 hours or something stupid, then I'll be absolutely rooting myself for the week. So, yeah, it's you got to have a tactical nap at some stage to get through the day. Yeah. What about you, Hamish? You going to have a tactical?
I think I have a 6 hour sleep now. Probably. That's the thing. George, one of the other Kiwi lads, he is going to be working. And he works till about maybe 5:30 or 6. And he told me after he finishes work, he's going to take me to KFC. So the thing is, KFC is 30 minutes away. So, yeah, I know. This is South Island little town problems. I know we can't all order Uber Eats, can we?
Where do you live, dude? What's your town?
Waimate.
Waimate. Is that near Akaya?
Do you know where Timaru is?
Yeah, I know where Timaru is. Yeah.
Okay. 30 minutes south.
Oh yeah, jeez, that is real.
It's a little town. Little town.
Just a small town, boy.
It's very difficult, you can't just call up someone and be like, can I have some Uber Eats? Can you bring Macca's around?
You can't. So, well, mate, if you're ever in Auckland, look us up. We'll take care of you up here, mate. Have you been to a game at Eden Park?
I haven't. I have been to Auckland, but I think we only went to the Sky Tower where I returned with about 15 of those little gemstones because I love the idea of putting them in. And then,
Well, thanks for sharing.
This is when I was like 7. I shouldn't mention this.
It's a story to tell here.
You're going to have to come up and have the match day experience at some point.
Yeah, big games coming up. Bledisloe Cup, of course. Are you heading to Eden Park for that one?
Maybe. I think I am actually. I am. I am actually going to the first test, so that'll be fun. Yeah,
that's pretty good.
Yeah, absolutely. New Zealand fans are kind of weird, and Hamish should be able to attest to this. Like you see overseas, and people are going apeshit for the whole time and all that sort of thing. New Zealand fans, we cheer a lot when someone scores a try, like a really good try, but for the most part, we just sit there going,
just analyzing, just like, oh.
Yeah, I thought a rugby is just going to say something about this, and then we're quite a quiet bunch, so reserved.
Although one thing that can ruin a match day experience, the chips. If the chips ain't right, they just ruin everything.
I've heard that a lot.
You know what they make up? If the chips are shit, you can always be safe in the knowledge that they were shit, but they were also crazy expensive. So
exactly. That's what I'm about to say. Like 2 Cents always says that like whenever he goes to a game, but the food there is crazy. It's so expensive at Eden Park. So
you're looking at I think it's somewhere between $10 and $12 for a beer, and you're looking at like $9 to $12 for some chips or something crazy. So and if you bring your kids along or something like that, you're like fine dining. It's like crazy. Yeah, it's mental. That is what.
Gotta try and sneak a pizza in the pants or something.
Just bring some beers as well.
That could be your lead. What was the name of your album again, Hamish?
Something to do with my tongue, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Rolling the
R's. And leading track could be Pizza in My Pants. Yeah.
The good song title there.
Good old pants, all right?
Yeah.
I don't see Domino's bringing it out anytime soon.
It could be a love song. I've got a pizza in my pants and there's a slice for you. You know, that would be.
There you go.
Oh, we're writing a song here, guys.
Yeah, this is it. This is magic right now.
The Super Rugby website's loaded.
Oh, wow.
It's only taken 5
Miracles
years.
do happen.
Oh, no, I'm on the Super Rugby page rather than Rugby Championship. Okay, that'll be ready in 15.
I know that feeling.
Yeah.
And also we have got there, $9 a beer. Yep, they give you a little cup because you don't allow cans or anything because it's a safety hazard. So you got to have a little glass cup, or not a glass cup. That would be dangerous. Little plastic cup. And it's warm, isn't it? By the time you get to your seat, it's kind of that lukewarm beer.
Yeah. And it's you got to have it. Well, you can buy 4 at once. You can buy them in the little plastic, the little plastic stubbies. You buy them in. You buy them 4 at once, and you spend $150 on 4 beers or something stupid, and then you smash them back, and then you spend the next 20 minutes of the first half like just dying to go for a piss. It's great. It's a great time.
Well, at least you got the cups, but then you gotta be careful, don't you? That's kind of secret.
Secret. So what's the deal with So you and George started Kiwi Lads? Is that how it kind of all happened, or are you two the lads? Is there a third lad?
There is actually 4 Kiwi Lads.
Well, they're quiet partners, aren't they? These boys.
They are. So pretty much it started off with myself and a little bit of George was kind of our first thing, doing a bit of gaming with the boys, which is also Isaac and Daniel.
I saw one other guy in a gaming video once that was hilarious because you guys, it was actually really good content because you lost in the last minute. It was hilarious. George is a great loser to watch.
That would have been Daniel, I believe.
All
that
right.
is one of the only videos he's been in. And then other than that, Isaac, he's been on there a little bit, but not a huge amount overall. He's joined me for like big final live streams like Super Rugby Aotearoa 2021. I think we had him on. A couple other ones. In there, but I think myself definitely on there the most, and then George second most, and then probably Isaac, then Daniel. But
you'd be very. You could change. You could take off the S and you say Kiwi Lad with George.
I do get that question a lot. Everyone's like, you say it's the Kiwi Lads, but where are they?
Who else?
I have mates. I promise. I do have mates.
Guys, I do have friends. Like
my mum and dad have been on the channel more.
Yeah,
that's what I was about to say.
Yeah.
I saw your dad just do it once. Your dad did the cricket. He was very dry, but quite entertaining. And your mum is quality. And what a boot on that lady. Holy crap. Hit over the ball. She totally Don Clarked it, toe hacked it, which is nothing wrong with that. But boy, oh boy, some real talent
I
there.
might be able to pull that up. A little bit of fancy.
I remember that.
Yeah.
I was saying before that Hamish's kicking is spot on.
Oh.
That's a great freeze frame you've got there, champ.
Exactly. You're cheering her on.
There's mum. Go, mum.
Oh,
Couldn't see.
It went close.
Eskimo that one.
Oh, she's got it.
hey.
It's good.
It's good.
Is that all right?
That was good.
Yes.
Oh,
That was a strike and a half.
Straight.
Nailed it. Look how straight that went.
It's pretty
look
good.
at the swagger you've got now.
Well, I didn't know if I could do it.
Big man.
This is Kiwi Lads on another lovely day, even though I've got wrapped up to the nines. Back to the studio with Hamish. See you later.
Now my skills have come a long way in just 1 week. You guys will remember last week I was missing absolutely everything. This week, it's a bit different. Did that even go close, or was that like way off?
How many? Was that the best take? You just do
They went further than my kicks.
So the gist of it was we filmed the whole segment. You know, we went through it. And then I realized I hadn't turned the microphone on, so the audio was not good. So that was part of the original one, and then the refilm version was what you guys got to see on the live stream. Like, there's still some other footage. I actually got a decent strike of a drop kick. I actually got one from about 25 meters out, which no one will believe me.
Sure you did. Sure you did, champ. Sure you did.
I still don't believe it.
No, this is a good one. You know,
honestly, it was the one that I didn't get because we all need audio for that kick shot, don't we?
Exactly.
Well, that's the other thing. I think people enjoy watching me embarrass myself more than they enjoy watching me actually get the moment.
You and me both, bro. You and me both. I absolutely disgraced myself in my live stream today. I really did. I got way too carried away. I was storming around the room. I was swearing and blinding. I'm definitely going to get age restricted by YouTube for this one. It was intense. It was intense. Oh well. Yeah, keep it up. People like the embarrassment. We can embarrass ourselves.
It's brilliant. Yeah, exactly. That's why we do. That's why you have the channels.
That's the thing. A lot of people, like last week, how they were like, so many people would just cut out certain parts so that you don't get those outtakes. Like for me, I didn't get any of those second lot over, so that would have been just, I could have cut it all, you know. But
yeah,
we need the bloopers.
Yeah, you need a little bit of excitement in your life.
Yep.
You do.
I mean, I cut out the part where I take my pants off, but that was just more strategic than anything else.
Age restriction.
It's an interesting decision to make with your mum. Hey, mum, I just want to make this video a bit sexier, so I'm going to drop trout. Can you hold the camera?
Yeah. Although luckily had the shorts on underneath, which is the finished product, of course.
Right.
But I'm actually going through because I want to find this first drop kick just so that I can be like, look at that. It's gone.
Look what I did here.
Oh, geez, wait.
Shank that one, so we won't play that.
Shank it. All right, well, what time is it right now? It is 9:30 in the daytime.
9:30.
Holy jeez. How did this happen?
The time goes fast when you're having fun, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yep.
It does, mate. It really does.
Oh, here we go. Here's the stats.
Oh.
Ooh.
Well, did you drop kick? That was a punt.
That was a punt. What does it say?
Is
it on the floor?
Yeah.
I thought.
Let's see this again.
It was the frame rate that made it look like a punt.
Yeah.
The old frame rate. Okay, now that is a drop.
Oh, okay. There you go.
That wasn't too bad.
That was all right. Yeah, and I love the.
I like the celebration.
This is a lovely free time. The problem is, I didn't anticipate how big my shoes would be compared to the bottom of my pants.
I didn't think you were about to say shoes at the end of that sentence. So I didn't anticipate how big my shoes were. I didn't see that.
I spent like a good 3 minutes trying to get them off and then put them back on, you know? It's hard work. Oh, your trousers, I thought you were finally running around that rugby field free willy. And who was the man of the match? I'd say for me, Thomas Gallo was right up there. The prop who did manage to get himself the double. Emiliano Boffelli, impressive performance from him.
Boffelli was great, wasn't he?
As usual. He's just...
And Thomas Lavavini for picking a fight with his own man. Because he's a tricky character.
That was impressive.
Pretty good. It was pretty impressive.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I guess nonetheless, we might be near the end of this live stream. Who knows? Maybe this becomes something in the future that we do every once in a while.
Sounds like fun, buddy. Sounds like fun.
Well, thank you all very much for tuning in. Be sure to check out Rugby Itch, who is next to me. Check out Distracted Sports, who is below me.
You don't need to. Honestly, it's overrated.
I mean, to be fair, I think with
it's
you
rated
knocking
R.
out 10K views each video, I don't think you need us to.
No, you're doing well, man. You're doing very well.
Yeah, it's just I've paid somebody or something.
Did you?
Yeah.
It's a good way to do it, you know.
Yeah. All right. No, yeah. But yeah, thanks for having me on, buddy. And I feel like I'm in somebody else's house and I have to mind my P's and Q's. Like my mum says, okay, we're going to someone else's house. Don't fucking swear. And then they're like, oh, I've done it. You know?
No, it's all good. If you hear a live stream with George, you'll know that swear words are
it's a usual.
very, they just make their way in every single time, really.
Yep.
But that's what keeps everyone on their toes, isn't it?
Sure does, mate.
Indeed.
Sure does.
Yeah. Now, thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel, and we will see you all for the next